Hi, once again, ladies and gentlemen. Accu-Stats Video Productions is pleased to welcome you again to the 2017 Make It Happen Straight Pool Invitational. Thank you so kindly. We appreciate it. We're live here in the Aramis-Simonis Arena at Sandcastle Billiards in Edison, New Jersey, where we always are when we say Make It Happen, and it's the home of the Make It Happen series and the home of Accu-Stats. 6 of the greatest players in the world have once again assembled here to fight it out in the Make It Happen round-robin format. This time we're playing straight pool, 150-point games. The winner of each match gets $1,000. We have 2 more matches left in the round-robin, this one and one more at 7 p.m. tonight. And after the 7 p.m. match, we will know who our players are with the 2 best overall records. They will then come back at 9:30 tonight to compete in the championship match for the title and for another $1,000. So it's still very much in doubt, and we're going to decide a little bit more of it here in just a couple of moments. Want to make sure I also recognize again our 3 great sponsors that have been with us for so many years, Diamond, Aramis, and Simonis. We appreciate what they've done for the Make It Happen series and for professional pool around the world. And we are certainly pleased to have our Make It Happen family of supporters once again. And that's each and every one of you out there watching, and each and every one of you that have so graciously made your way here to watch in person and root these great champions on. We started this in 2012. Here we are 5 years later. There's 11 of these under our belt. This is number 12. And for the 12th time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for making it happen. Okay, here we go. Let me start with player introductions for match number 14. Our first player from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. He's a 3-time Make It Happen champion. He's also a 5-time U.S. Open 9-ball champion, and he's a 2-time Derby City all-around world champion among his long list of accomplishments. He's sponsored by the USA Pool League and by Q-Tech. Would you kindly welcome the South Dakota kid, Shane Van Boening. Thank you. His opponent is from Trinity, Florida. He's a 9-time member of Team USA's Moscone Cup. He is also a U.S. Open 9-ball champion. He's also a Derby City 1-pocket champion. He's sponsored by Miyuchi and by the School of Pool. Would you kindly welcome the Prince of Pool? It's Corey Deuel. Thank you very much. Your official timekeeper, as always, is Miss Julie Ha. And at this time, I'm going to send it to the commentator booth to our host for the Make It Happen series, Double J, Jeremy Jones, and a very special guest commentator, soon to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, Dynamite Darren Appleton. Take it away, guys.
And thanks again, Kenny, and welcome again, everyone, to the 2017 Make It Happen Straight Pool Invitational. We're here in Edison, New Jersey. I'm Jeremy Jones with Accu-Stat Video Productions, and as Kenny talked about, a special treat here, having just Hall of Famer and just shortly going to be inducted in a few weeks in Vegas, Darren Appleton. Hello, Darren. How you doing?
Yeah.
I know things could be better, you know, coming off a loss, but you played well. I mean, it wasn't really like you played poorly. It just took y'all just a few innings to gather up what would be 270-something points overall between you and Josh. So.
Yeah, the standard was good. I mean, he come out with 86. I responded with 111, didn't get shape on my ball, and then we had a little safety battle, and then he run the match. So if I played like that in the other matches, I'd probably be looking at playing in the finals. But just haven't been able to focus and keep my concentration for long periods of time. And this game, that's essential, and that's what's cost me, really. Just I played the game good, but like you say, I've missed balls what I shouldn't miss, just through lack of focus, really. But that's just with lack of playing pool this year, really, and a lot of stuff off, like just a lot of personal issues away from pool. But
with your new series and stuff, you got a lot of work.
Yeah, so. And my family and stuff. So I've been spending a lot of time in the UK. So next year I'll be back stronger and get focused again. Play the way I should play, really.
Yeah, being inducted into that Hall of Fame isn't going to keep you from trying to win tournaments. I know that, but that's got to be a special treat coming up in just a few weeks. Kind of expected from the rest of the pool world, but being a player myself, you just never know. You know, you never know with things like that. I mean, none of us could imagine you not being in the Hall of Fame with your resume and the titles you've won in so many different games. So,
yeah, I mean, there's no guarantee. I mean, there's some players who's not inducted like yourself, and there's guys like Jose Perica. He was like
Right.
in his 60s before he got inducted. So, and he
Yeah.
should have been inducted before any of the Filipinos.
right, right.
So it just goes to show that you're never guaranteed, and there's a lot of great players who haven't been inducted, like you said. So, and it's getting tougher.
Yeah, it's just like it's just kind of like the Moscone Cup itself. You play in it several times, but it's never a guarantee. It's something you got to earn, and well deserved. I think you certainly earned it. No one could say anything different.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, I mean it's tough because they only induct one player per year. So
Look at this shot, by the way. How good he hit
wow,
it.
look at
How
that.
well did he hit it? That's a one-pocket shot, just floating the cue ball to the end rail. What great speed.
yeah,
And what I was going to comment as far as the break, from all the players I've had to see break this week, Corey's been the most successful as not leaving a shot.
yeah. He's sort of he probably knows a break shot better than the rest of us because he's
Playing
played
any game, right?
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, he's probably played more straight pull than myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he started at a young age.
So he knows the break really good, and obviously he knows how to make sure he gets the balls touching. A couple of times I left him maybe a bit loose and left the ball on the side rail, which is like criminal, really.
Yeah.
But then I sort of figured it out. But you've got to put the cue ball in the right positions for the break, and each table break's different.
Now, do you feather this and come all the way down, or do you just put the 9 behind the rack and make
he might
sure
have purposely scratch it. He could have played a scratch there, you know. He could have played the 9 and not. I mean, he's worked out good, but even if he scratches there, it wouldn't have been okay, really.
Right. What Darren's saying is just kind of replace the 9 where it's at now, but go off the 9 and go ahead and scratch and give Shane ball in hand behind the line. And
yeah, I mean, he probably didn't want to scratch, but I mean, if he would have scratched, it wouldn't have been terminal, really. It wouldn't have been too bad. And,
right. And
so it'd be interesting to see how Shane plays. I mean, there's a bit of pressure off him now. He's just playing for the $1,000, so obviously.
and a lot of pride, right?
Well, now you like me, my last match with Joshua, I just looked at it as a $1,000 money match.
Right.
That was the best mindset to have, and I think Shane will probably do the same thing.
Okay. Well,
did get
just
a
you can tell it's just. It can't be more than a playing cards with from not getting a rail. And I will tell you a little bit about this match real quick. You can see if Corey wins here, he'll have a 4-1 record. And with a 4-1 record, you're automatically qualified for the final, just the math on the round-robin stages. But all he needs is 96, actually, even in a loss. If he was to get 96, that would qualify him. Reason being is because our later match between Dennis Urculio and Jason Shaw, Jason being 3-1, Dennis being 3-2, Jason will qualify with a win. But if
Dennis is
happens,
2-2,
if Dennis happens to win that match and Corey gets 96 here, well, he's in that way. But he's in regardless if he gets 96 or wins the match. So he'll overcut this 12 ball and run the cue ball back, I believe, right? And I'm a little surprised Corey rolled out to just there. I would have had to make this cut on the 12 a little more difficult if I rolled the cue ball out.
Yeah, I thought he would have put the cue ball where it is now, really.
Right.
So then he cuts a lot of angles out that way.
Yeah, and it really opens for a scratch, maybe trying to glide the cue ball off the 12.
So that was very unusual for Corey because he's very smart.
Yeah,
His safety.
Do you think, like last night, I believe he was playing you last night whenever he played a rollout, and I thought it was quite tricky that he rolled out into position to where maybe making you think he's going to take 3 in a row, and he rolled out to where you just kind of tapped the cue ball, and then he played a nice safety, which really turned things around.
Yeah, afterwards I was thinking about it. I was a bit annoyed with myself, really. I didn't really look. I didn't look myself.
Right.
I just thought, well, I'll just put it back there. And made a mistake there. It ended up costing me much.
Yeah, well, I think that was because you thought he was going to just tap the ball also. So
it's like
a little gamesmanship, right?
Yeah, I mean, he played a smart shot. And like you said, when you're not really focused and looking at it's very important to be very aware, especially straight pull, because there's a lot of clever shots you can play. And, I mean, especially against someone like Corey, he's always looking for something in the stack what's not even there. I mean, the first shot of the match against Corey yesterday, he played like a crazy
on the 8
4
ball.
or 5 ball combo, and I'm thinking, what's he playing here?
And a billiard. It wasn't just a combo. He played it on the bottom side of the 8, and then playing the 8 off the 12. And,
then there's like a gap between the 2 balls of like 3 inches. I'm thinking, well, this can't be right. But he made it. I mean, it's amazing, really, that he sees this stuff.
Well, not only is he, all right, he's got to be careful on the speed here, but not only is he a great player overall, but when I play Corey one pocket, I think he's so tough to beat because of that. Finding stuff in the stack that, you know, I'll look at the stack and I'll say, okay, I can put him on the end rail, and then he'll run out from there from something that I just don't see. And I'm not talking about a ball in the corner of the stack. I'm talking about one that's in there a little bit.
Yeah, it's weird. I've played him a couple of times, one pocket, and it's like thinking, like, he always finds an answer. I'm thinking, how has he done that?
Right.
So he's smart. I mean, if there is one weakness in his game, I'd probably say it's his ball pocketing. I mean, it's not a big weakness, but I mean, if you look at the real top tier players, I think the only thing what's held him back over the years is his ball pocketing. I mean, obviously he's had a great career, but I mean, he's one of them guys who's got so much knowledge. You think he would have won a lot more big tournaments.
Yeah.
So I would say if there is a weakness, it'd be his ball pocketing. I mean.
I would agree, and mainly from distance, ball pocketing, that's what Darren's talking about. But also at times whenever we played a format to where you really had to break the ball square and hard, at times he could struggle at that as well. But he said he's gotten that one down, like he's got to where now he's real confident breaking the balls from if he has to hit them hard.
I mean, he had a stage where he was breaking with a bridge. I mean, I'd never seen anything like that before in my life. When he played in Las Vegas at the Predator 10 ball, he was breaking with a bridge because they said, like, you're not allowed to soft break. He says, well, what about if I break with a bridge? Well, that's okay. So obviously he's trying to, but he was popping the cue ball. It was amazing.
Wow, look at this shot. Wow. And a little unfortunate for Corey that the ball wired up dead. And again, after making a great shot, a little unfortunate for Shane that the 7-4 got covered up a little.
Well, after he made the kick there, he's brushed a 7 ball to the side rail, and it's a very tough combo because it's sort of straight, so you don't really know where the cue ball's going.
Yeah.
And this falls in a funny little spot. It's not like a natural, so he's got to hit it perfect. You know what I mean? It's not like he can hit it into the rail and just.
Well, would you consider playing the 7 rail first on the 4 here, Darren? Would you consider that? I mean,
for sure, yeah. But I mean, whatever he's going to do, he's going to attack.
Well,
I think we've seen that with the first 2 or 3 shots.
Don't follow the cue ball in.
Wow, what a shot!
Oh, what a great shot!
Yeah, that's probably the best shot he's played the whole week. I mean, it's
and it was delicate, huh?
I mean, that was a great shot. Yeah, it made it look easy.
I'm not sure if he can get on the 9 to play in the same pocket as a 15. You'll notice it does go in the other pocket. And if he can get on the backside, it looks like the 314's real playable with that big pocket with the 7 as well. So we'll see.
Yeah. It must go, I guess.
It must go.
I mean, I've played. I mean, Shane is when he really wants to play straight pull, he can play it good. I mean, I played him in the final of the World Straight Pull. He played really good that year. And
well, a run of 303, I think, is his high run.
It was the same week. He got 303 in practice before the tournament. Luckily, I beat him in the final, but I played amazing. But
he's coming into him here.
But it seems like he hasn't got the patience for straight pull. When I speak to him, he says, "Oh, I'm not really interested." It's like he's not prepared to put the work in, and I think he could be a really good straight pull player.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he plays all the games good, and obviously he's ball pocketing, and he's got a big power stroke and everything,
and a great cue ball.
And he's a good 8-ball player, so I mean, he's got potential to be a great straight pull player. But it looks like he just hasn't got the patience to really play it. Maybe it's the sitting down, the sitting down aspect to the game. What he don't like?
Yeah, well, he doesn't like to sit down, period. You know, and he wants to be at the table.
It's like you say, I mean, at this game,
electric chair a little bit.
Yeah, it is the toughest chair in the game, man.
He's going to try and throw this 6 a little. Wow, great shot. And now he started off with a kick combination.
I mean, it's a great shot, but if your Corey is fuming, because he's very fortunate to be able to even have that shot.
Absolutely.
But you still got to execute it.
But I don't blame him going into the rack with the 7 because there wasn't a whole lot of other balls to get at.
Yeah.
You know, there were a couple that you could break the rack with, but he couldn't get great position on them. So sometimes you have to gamble in this game.
Yeah, and you need a bit of luck like that. I mean, now he's liable to get a big run now because the balls are nice and spread. And it looks like he's in the mood to really attack. You know what I mean? He's not going to... He looks like he's going to put something together. That's why he's sort of giving me the impression anyway.
Well, also, I've noticed through the week that Shane's been here watching a lot. Yeah. And really, honestly, even though you didn't come away with the win, he's in the same boat as you are as far as he can't make the final, but he saw the effort you put in, and I think that may have a little something to do with it.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, you always want to finish with a win anyway, and like you say, every match is $1,000, so...
that's not peanuts.
I mean, it's a lot of money for one match. I mean, you wish you play every tournament and you get $1,000 for every match you win.
Yeah, whoever wins is going to be getting paid about $500 an hour. So,
yeah, I mean,
as far as a wage, you can't beat that.
If you play 20 tournaments a year, you got to think you're going to win 60, 70 matches per year. If you
Right.
get $1,000 every time you win a match, you'll be happy.
Yeah, you're doing well. Okay, he's just going to brush forward. He may hold the ball, but I would like to go forward and guarantee something on the 1, I think. Yeah.
And no entry fee.
Yeah, no entry fee.
And your expenses paid.
Yeah, well, you gotta get hats off to Pat Fleming and Accu-Stats Billiards Accu-Stats Production, bringing the best in the world again and really taking care of them.
I mean, me personally, I've played in a lot of these. I've been very fortunate, and I live 1 hour from here. I mean, it's perfect for me. I can drive back and forth if I don't stay at the hotel, so I even keep the expenses down a bit for Pat.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, this is one of my favourite events of the year, just because there's no real pressure. You're playing to. I mean, there's pressure of playing the game, but there's no pressure about trying to make the money. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like usually when you go to tournaments, you're thinking, right, just get to the money stage.
Yeah, there's a number you're thinking of. Yeah.
And then you can start to relax. Where here you just play your game because you know you're going to win some matches. I mean, if you play 10 matches and you don't win 40, 50%, then you shouldn't be here really.
Right. Well, he's a little funny here because he's got some work on the 313, and he's gotten off angle. He would love to have shot the 2 and got to the back of the 8 or the 5 right here, but now what do you see as far as keeping it simple and producing here?
Well, the 5's a good break ball, so he needs to try and control this cannon if he can. Control the 13 after he makes the 3, and then he can play shape on the 8 ball from the 13.
I don't know if he can do that, though. Okay.
This is where he's sort
got a
of
little
lax.
fortunate.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like that shot. He's got very fortunate, actually.
Well, he could have followed the ball and guaranteed getting on the back of the 5 and 8 for the side pocket, which I think if he had to shoot that with speed, that was the way to go, because the 5 and the 8 gives you options. I mean, you're probably going to fall on both. But still, he should be okay here. He's just got to, don't run into him.
Well, that's even better.
I know, but
now he's perfect.
Now he's great.
So that was, I guess not a lot could go wrong with that shot unless he kisses it full.
Or if he doesn't kiss also and falls on the rail to where he has to shoot maybe the 5 ball instead of getting on the 10.
Yeah, so that wasn't so much lucky, really. It was the previous shot where he was a bit fortunate.
Yeah, because the
but
third.
I would have left the 8 ball now because it's perfect on the 10, but it's, yeah, I didn't really like this shot.
Well,
I mean,
if he gets straight,
okay,
if he gets straight on the 2, he can hold his ball for the 10 as well, but now he may have to move forward.
Yeah.
And shoot the 2 in the side, which is okay. He may draw back for the 2 in the side.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice if he can. It looks like he's got an angle just to run it through for the side pocket, which I think is the right shot.
Yeah, as long as you stay off the rail, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to keep it simple, though, and I don't mind that at all.
Yep.
He just, draw back, pinch the cue ball back just a little bit. He'll have a decent angle to go off the 5 into the rack.
Probably left a little more angle than he wanted, so he might draw off the side rail here.
Okay, great shot. A little short, right? A little bit, but not bad.
I mean, you don't expect him to miss it, but he's made it missable.
Right.
But he's got a bad execution. That's the only way he can miss the ball, really. But sometimes you think too much about the cue ball with this sort of shot, so it's very important. That's what I told myself in my last match. Whatever you do, keep your focus on the break shot.
Yeah, if you don't miss, you don't lose your turn.
The key to this game is not miss break shots. Because the rest of the game after that should be pretty simple regards making the balls. It's just getting position and playing the right pattern. So that's what Torsenoma does so good. He very rarely misses a break shot.
Okay, the balls, this is no good.
Well, what happened there, Jeremy? Because he left it a bit tougher than what he wanted. He was thinking about making the ball more than position. And then what happens is that you're frightened to let your stroke out. And
he needed a much more draw, right?
And that's what happened. He was sort of a little bit scared of missing it, so then you lose the cue ball a little bit because you don't get the stroke he wanted to put on it.
And what Darren's saying is, he just didn't quite commit to the stroke. He's got to make a tough cut shot on the 13 now off the end rail. I don't think he can shoot anything else.
Yeah, this is a shot, and I predict if he makes this, I think he's going to get a really big run. This is like a big
motivator.
Yeah, if he makes it, it's going to give him a lot of confidence as well.
Yeah,
this is very tough.
And he can't just whack it. You don't want to lose total control. You'll notice.
Yeah.
That's what I try to tell people a lot. A lot of times when people get long distance, and I'm talking about not novices, I'm talking about really good players sometimes, they'll lose focus and add a lot of speed to the cue ball because they're so much further away, and they'll mishit it a little bit.
Yeah, and what I did there, like to all amateurs out there, is keep the head still.
That's right. Well, that's what happens a lot when you start to add speed. Everything starts to move a little bit, and that's when you get a lot of body movement. They all kind of go together as far as the overhit.
Any rail shot, your key is to keep your head still, because if you don't contact the cue ball perfect, then you're going to get a bit of unwanted English on the cue ball.
Right.
And that's what happens a lot.
And then the ball
even with the pros.
and then the ball swerves, meaning it curves a little bit, and don't get over the top of this ball though. Okay.
So he's shooting good, but he's been a bit loose with the cue ball so far. But it's not too bad actually. If you can make the 14 play shape for the 13 or the 4.
Yeah, he's going to have to.
12 or the 4.
He's going to have to soft spin that with some English. He doesn't. I wouldn't want to contact anything from here. He may. It looks like he's going into the 2. Yeah. If he hits it hard, that makes this missable as well. Believe it or not, diamond's not easy. Okay, pretty nice control overall. Not sure it would have been the way I went, but I like at least if he was going to shoot it, he didn't really just hammer it.
Yeah, play a nice control shot.
And for you, we know you're going to the Moscone and of course the Hall of Fame dinner. You're A number 1 at that event. Where all of us that are going to be there, that's what it's there for. But what else you got going on before that? Or I know Thanksgiving and.
No, I go to England on Tuesday. I'm flying my dogs to the UK, so that's quite been a stressful process. And then go to the UK, see my family, and then I'll fly to Vegas for the Hall of Fame and the Moscone Cup December the 1st. And then after the Moscone, I'm still debating whether to go to the World 9-Ball Championships in Qatar. It's straight after the Moscone.
Oh, wow, it's in December, okay.
Yeah, sort of bad timing, really. But so I'm still undecided. I've been invited to play. Because I had to rely on a wild card because I haven't been playing a lot of pool. My rankings really slipped.
Right.
Because I haven't been playing the world ranking tournaments. So.
And credit to all them players now, though. There's a lot of players out there a lot more great players out there trying to take your spot. Just you know what I mean? So
it's tough. So I'm debating on the World 9-Ball. If I don't play the World 9-Ball, I'll just go back to the UK for Christmas and then reset myself for next year. Really,
and I'm sure the Derby. I'm sure you'll be there.
Yeah, probably Derby and stuff like that. And then probably play the Chinese 8-ball early January.
So you're probably playing the qualifier here Sunday, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And it's nearby. And I tell you, Shane's done really great work here as far as he's got a nice break shot on the 12. He's got the 8 to get on the 12. Everything's open. Just keep it simple. You'll see the 11-3-2, probably 11-3-2-1.
Yep.
Falling on the 8 to get on the 12 is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, should do.
So just make sure you keep the angles, real full hits overall, but just a little bit of angle just to move the cue ball 3 or 4 inches here, 3 or 4 inches there.
Yeah, and we had a 16-year-old win the Euro Tour today from Poland.
Wow.
16 years old. Wiktor is called. His last name's Wiktor. Watch out for him. He's a monster little player.
Yeah, well, that's
16 years old. Clenty Catchy. He's 18 years old. He got to the semi-finals, and Mario He's like 23. He got to the final. So.
Oh yeah, I played.
They're getting younger in Europe.
Yeah, well, last year in the U.S. Open, I won a couple big matches to start, and then I drew Mario He, and I didn't know him. And I thought to myself, I knew third round he was a great player, but I thought, well, maybe I get a little break. I played Corey and then Earl. I won both of those, and then I was at the board and. A young man informed me that it just got tougher when it comes to Mario He. Yeah. And he played great. I was fortunate enough to win the match, but he. And then he went on to win the World Cup, right, with Albin Ocean.
He won the last Euro Tour as well, not this one. Just gone. I mean, he just lost in the final today, but he lost. He won the previous one, and he's consistently getting into the later stages of tournaments, like World 9-Ball. I think he got to the last 8, the US Open. I actually beat him in US Open this year. It's probably the best match I played all year. Because he's got a beautiful stroke.
Yeah, and it kind of seems like to me he's not doing much to you when you're playing him, but he just gets out. He keeps the cue ball in a nice line, and then he can really move the cue ball easily.
Yeah, because I don't play much in Europe anymore. I haven't seen much of him the last 2 years, and I told him after the US Open, I said, you've really improved since 2 years ago.
Yeah.
His stroke is beautiful. I think he's got one of the best strokes in the game. Just so smooth and never looks like he's going to miss.
And now an opening, a nice 27 to open here by Shane, keeping in fairly good control. He got stuck up a little bit, but he came with a couple shots.
Yep, that's pretty good.
No worries here.
A little bit dangerous, though, when he play follow like that. these are dangerous scratching.
Right. But he got a pretty full hit. He knew he was going in fairly full because of the speed. The speed he glanced off the 12 was going to, the angle of the cue ball going into the rack was pretty full. What Darren's talking about, that side of the rack sometimes doesn't help you. It kind of steers the cue ball towards that corner. So if you're coming in on a glancing blow, you can just run the cue ball right down the side of the rack towards that corner pocket. So,
yeah, this is just a little tough situation for Corey, because he's probably not even thinking about winning the match. He's thinking, I need to get to 96 points, which is a bad mindset to have if he's thinking that way.
Yeah.
Because really, he should be looking at this as the final instead of thinking, I need to get to 96. And the problem he's got now is that Shane's sort of free rolling, even though he's playing for the $1,000. But he probably don't really need the 1,000, but he just wants to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean.
So there's less pressure on Shane in this match than there is Corey.
I agree, and not the start that Corey wanted as far as he broke the balls well, but a few safeties here and there, and Shane got the best of them on the safeties. And not really the best of them, really. Shane produced this. I don't know if you'll remember that needs to go, and that could be an issue if he can't get at that 5.
Yeah, that's not good.
Really a problem here. He needs an edge of the 5. Otherwise, you're going to see maybe a cut shot on the 1 all the way down the rail. Sometimes as spectators.
He's got the 15 in the top. He can play the 15 in the top.
Get it.
He's just
Okay, well then
now,
he's okay.
which is fortunate, really, because he should be nowhere near the 6 ball. He should be playing shape for the 6 ball.
That's what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
He just underhit coming across.
He's been quite fortunate to have this 15, and a player of his caliber, you'd be very surprised if he misses this.
Yeah, he's making this, 18 out of 20 probably, 17 out of 20. So he's a big favorite, but still, in the heat of the battle, I mean.
But
Okay,
what
nice
I will
shot.
say is that this particular match so far, he don't look like missing. He's made a lot of tough shots.
Yeah, and
Like I say, I think it's probably the worst I've ever seen him play this week in a make it happen tournament.
Right.
Because usually he's rather winning second or third at least. So I think he's really determined to finish the event off in style and try and put a good performance in.
Yeah, and it's not so much. I can't really say it's about playing the spoiler role, but we see it in all sports. Come down the end of the season for the football, there's teams that play spoilers, and it's just a matter of what it is as a professional. You just get used to trying to give your best performance every time you're at the table. So it's more about that than
more
anything.
like pride, really. I mean,
exactly. Competing and pride.
Yeah, I mean, these guys don't matter if they're playing for nothing. They want to win.
Absolutely.
I mean, I played Mika for like $10 sets, and I mean, he wants to win so bad, it's unbelievable.
Okay, he took a little chance of getting hemmed up on the 3 there as well. He hit the wrong side of the. I thought he wanted to go into the 3, the edge of the 3. Could never get hooked going into the edge of the 3, but nevertheless, he's still in good position. He's got a break on the 1, and the rail. Not in full command of the stroke there, Darren.
It's quite funny, really, because, I mean, his shooting the ball's amazing, but his cue ball, it's all over the place, really. Because usually his cue ball's really good. But he just can't get position. But he's making all the shots.
Well, I'll tell you one thing about Shane that I've seen, the way he approaches shooting the balls is, like, he doesn't throw the ball in near as much. Like, if he'll put a little more of the center and use his stroke for the timing, getting position with the cue ball. So I think that where the credit is there is, like Darren talked about, your ball pocketing doesn't leave you so much, but your cue ball can leave you a little bit because your touch is not going to be as good.
Yeah, ball's a funny game, isn't it? Sometimes you just can't get shape, and then there's other times where you just don't feel good about making balls. But if you can put them both together, then that's when you're on your hay game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think pool, is like any other sport as far as we try to play. If we could all play 90% under our top speed, 85% under our top speed, we'd usually be satisfied. But that's hard to do. Sometimes you get 110%, and sometimes you get 70%.
Well, that's why your B game's so important. Because
Right.
you probably play your B game 90% of the time.
Right.
So that's the key, really. And it's like golf. I'll go play golf, and I'll have a round where I'm sort of driving the ball good. But my iron play was no good, so
you can't make a putt.
So the next time I play, my iron play is good, but my driving's no good. You just can't put it all together, and I think that's what happens a lot with amateurs when it comes to pool. where the pros are just so good at working it out and just managing themselves.
Sure.
So,
well, the brain,
so good
the
around
brain
table,
helps
yeah.
you. The brain, if you have the brain part of the game, it's almost like for the pros, they'll never have too much worse than their B game at the table.
Yeah.
So it's when you lose your brain, I tell you, is when you can really have your C and D game.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, like a little bit like me and Shane this week. Not quite. Nothing's really clicked, you know what I mean? And then your opponents are playing good. They're getting a little bit of luck, and everything just runs against you. And even when you play good, you still lose. You know what I mean? It's a crazy game, pool is, but that's why we come back, because we know next time it can all change.
yeah. And quite honestly, you know, you and Shane both. Okay, that's going to need to get freed
No,
up.
I said on Facebook this morning, I said usually me and Shane, when we play these tournaments, we're contesting the final or we finish third or second. And this week in both events, we've both finished the bottom two in both tournaments.
Well,
So it just shows you like how great the field is, and obviously how tough the game is.
And honestly, you know, y'all two are probably the peers and heroes out of the group here between the six. And if the other four, if they smell a little weakness, if they smell a little blood, they're going to try and pounce. Even though, like I said, you're probably, you know, you got to look at young Joshua Filler. You got to be one of his heroes. Shane, of course, one of his heroes.
Yeah.
Just, you know, I mean, just all the way around. But at the same time, he's a competitor as well.
Oh yeah, they're not frightened.
As much as y'all mean to him, he's still, if he gets the chance to win, he's going to try and win.
There's no like thinking I'm playing Shane Van Boening with Joshua Filler or Darren Appleton. It's like he's excited to play, you know what I mean? You can see when he's playing, he's looking forward to playing.
Yeah,
he's excited, and he's not scared to win, and that's a big asset for him going forward. He's just one of them guys, but if he gets an opportunity to win, he isn't going to lose because he's playing Efren Reyes or Shane Van Boening.
Now, I think Shane needs to keep it simple here. He could do a lot he should have gotten a little more full. You want to take that 15 away. You'll notice the 4 and 5, if he can get on the 6, he can open the rack real easily. The 7-2 might actually be wired. There's no reason for that, though. I don't understand the reason for going into those. Mm-hmm. But he's been doing it all week. He could pick a few off and get positioned to a ball much easier rather than taking a little bit of a chance. But
yeah, he sort of takes chances where there's maybe 15-20% chance of it going wrong.
Right.
And
which is small, you consider, but still.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it happens, and then instead of running like 100 balls, he's running like maybe 40, 50, 60 balls, you know what I mean? And I used to do the same. When I first started playing, I thought, right, I've got to start finding the percentage play better. And that's what I managed to do like a good 4 or 5 years ago. And then I started getting more high runs. Instead of breaking down on 1670, I was turning them into like 100 breaks. And then you're going to be tough to beat. You know?
It's a little more of a working mentality, but it's a fun mentality once you figure it out that it does work. You know, that it actually getting through the rack like that.
And the other key to the game is to learn the break shot. Once you learn all the break shots, then you can go a long way in this game.
He's going into him again, and he needs to hit it with a medium speed, not too soft, not too hard. Hard to really get snookered. And he's still okay, though.
Yeah. Well, the 4 ball's a great break shot. He just don't. He needs to take the one over the side pocket now, really, because he needs to open that pocket up for the 5 and the 7.
Exactly right. I saw that as well. He could shoot the 13. The 2's not helping him. Just roll down the 2, get on the 15 to where you can drop behind the balls. That being the 5 and 7. I think that's the route.
Well, I think he could even take the 13, the 13, 14, and then the 2, and then the 6, and play for shape on the 5 and 7.
Right.
And then it really opens the table up.
Yeah, I would like to get to that 14 as well.
Yeah, the 14's not really serving any purpose. It could be like a little bit of an issue later on if he leaves it.
Okay.
Not a massive issue. I mean, he could use that as a key ball.
Yeah.
It's not a disaster, but it's not my personal choice.
Yeah, what he's thinking is just like you. He wants to get to that one as quick as possible. Those 2 as quick as possible. That being the 5 and 7. So he'll fall on the 6 here to come behind the 5 and 7, and then probably go get that 14 because all the work down here is done.
Yeah, that's okay. Also.
Yeah, once you open them all up here and you have a break shot, you have a ball easily that you can get to the break shot, especially with some options.
You see what he's done there? Very clever, really, because he wants to make sure he takes the 5 now. Because the 7 does pass the 4, where the 5 doesn't. So that's important.
That's very important. And then he can get to that 14 and then just bring his cue ball back for options on the 9, 15, the 7.
Yeah, if the 5 ball did pass the 4 ball, he would play the 7 ball now and then the 14. But because it doesn't, he really needs to take the 5. But then it's a little bit tricky to get. I still
Closer
like him.
to the 14, you
I
mean?
like him playing the 5, 9, 14, 7, and then 15 for his key ball. Then come round the back of the 4 ball, because you can't go wrong that way. Because the 7's natural shape to the 9, and then 9's just make sure you get on that, or do that. That's okay.
Yeah,
also.
I think
I
with
didn't
the
realize it could do that.
Yeah, with the 7 going just like you talked about, it's real easy to connect from the 7 to the 9 to the 15. So
Yeah.
good thinking here by Shane, and on a run of 51. And really, if he keeps his composure and doesn't take many chances, I think he could run 150 just as easily as anybody else in this event.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, the level of play has really picked up the last 2 days. Been a lot of eyeball runs, and I really thought I was going to get 150 today.
Well, we thought you were too,
yeah.
Darren. You look good.
Just lost shape there, and I think it's the same sort of thing here. I think unless he loses position badly, then he's gonna. Yeah, I don't see him missing a ball. You just know what you know when you played that. I've played this guy like maybe like
Right.
50 times, so
Right.
I just know his game inside out. I probably know his game better than anyone in the last 10 years because we played each other so much. So I sort of know his demeanour, his mentality, how he's feeling, and I just know when he's sort of not going to miss, if you know what I mean.
Okay, and I didn't mind that too liked
That's okay.
He would have liked to have gotten maybe a little more full on it, but now he can run behind the 9, no problem. Main thing here is stay off the rail and give yourself a little angle.
Yeah, I mean, I'd leave like an half ball angle on the 9 ball and come around the back of the 4. Like, he's looking at that, but I don't like that. You don't need to do that.
No, just stay on the opposite side of the 9, right?
Yeah.
And make sure you're off the rail. Remember, oh, he's going to draw into position. That's why. Okay, I thought he had to go one rail back to where he's looking, but he can draw above it, and that's going to leave pretty natural. But if he gets a little thin, it could be a little hairy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, now he's got to draw the cue ball back, 4, 5, 3 feet, which is not guaranteed because it's easy to quit. I'll tell you now, if he plays a lot of straight pull...
He's the best at this, though.
Yeah, I don't dispute it, but if he plays a lot more straight pull, he won't play that shot again.
Right, because then you have to execute.
Yeah.
Exactly, but it's really kind of interesting how this... If he has a lopsided win here, Corey's not out of it, but he'll need Jason Shaw not only to defeat Dennis Urculio, he'll have to beat him kind of badly, I think.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I mean, we have to do the exact numbers,
Yeah,
and it's
I mean,
a little confusing without knowing what's going to happen here, but...
I don't think Dennis has got beat badly in any matches, so...
Well, yeah, Dennis said... and we're talking about his losses, and we're talking about the tiebreakers, meaning how many points you got on your losses. So in day 2, he suffered his first loss. He got 127. At the end of day 2, he got 88 in a loss against Corey Deuel. So that's pretty decent as far as an average. And Corey's done pretty well. He had a bad loss to Joshua Filler. That was early in the match when Joshua ran 137 and out.
Yeah. Well, this is why, me personally, I think you should get rewarded for the matches you win also. So if you win 150-0, you should be plus 150.
Oh, okay.
And then take that over to the next match, and then whatever you win your next match or lose, then obviously you plus or minus, and I think that's the best way to do it.
You mean the difference on how you win?
Yeah, because you can lose 150 like me. I have no chance to qualify.
Right.
Even if I beat Corey last night, I need a miracle.
Right.
So I'm sort of it's a bit, in my opinion, it's a little bit. But that's how they do it in America. They've always done it that way. But because I come from the UK, that's how we always do it on the plus and minus.
Right.
Like whether you win or lose.
Right. Total is what you're saying on the plus and minus.
Yeah, I mean...
Got to pay attention to this one, though. Got to hit it clean. Don't let it skid. All right, nice shot.
He actually holds the bridge pretty good, you know, which not too many of the Americans hold the bridge correctly, but Shane plays the bridge shots pretty good. Corey does also. I don't know. I've never seen you play with a bridge. You're okay with the bridge?
I've gotten a lot better in the last several years.
Some players
I've kind of committed to it. So.
Can't even hold the thing properly.
Yeah, well, I used to not hold it properly, and I've gotten to where I do that much better. And you know what else? My mindset on the bridge is much better, meaning don't get in the cinch mode with the bridge. Even though you're with the bridge, unless you can just bink it in or something and you win the game with it. But if you have to move, still be aggressive through the stroke. That's the key.
Yeah, that's where the British guys are really good with the bridge, because we come from like a snooker style background, and at snooker you got to use it all the time.
Right, but you
And
don't.
you got to be so accurate, you know.
Yeah, but you don't mind moving the cue ball with the
Yeah.
bridge, but when you need to, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this,
Another,
especially the
another chance
Filipinos.
he took a little bit there.
When I watch the Filipinos with the bridge, I just start laughing.
Yeah, what about Bustamante, huh?
Yeah, it's
When he
unbelievable.
uses the bridge?
Yeah, it's funny.
I'm saying that what Darren's saying is it's some of them have a very unorthodox style. Like Bustamante will be like a foot from the ball, and then he'll all of a sudden with a long swinging stroke go get to the cue ball. So.
But the good thing with them guys is that they can play so good with both hands, and they play behind the back if they have to. So they avoid the bridge as unless they've no choice. You know what I mean?
Right. And I like what he's doing here. He needs to peel off the congestion on that side of the table. He needs to open them up a little bit. That way you don't get stuck. Don't overthink it. If you can reach the, I might play the 7 away. I know he's looking at saving the 7 for the 14. But if the 7 holds him on the 10 to where he can get around the backside of the 3, that does a lot, right?
If that 11 passes the
Might
10,
shoot the
which
11,
it does,
huh?
yeah, but I was thinking that he could play the 7, the 9, and then the 2, and then that really opens the game up. 'Cause
Right.
that 11 passes the 10, so that's great.
What you're saying is you don't have many worries if you have an entire pocket on the 11 ball.
Yeah, no, the thing is that he needs to do something with this 9 and the 2 and the 5. You don't want to be leaving that too late.
Well, anytime there's balls close together like this 11-10, or if you'll look at the 15-13, I kind of look to get just one of those gone, because it gives you a real safety valve whenever you get in tight positions. So
He's sort of okay, but he could have made it work a little bit easier if he'd really figured the pattern out there.
yeah, and what Darren's saying is he's going to probably have to bump a few more than he wants. Like right here, he'll have to go into the 9, but if he doesn't fall just right on the 2, he'll have to bump the 5 a little bit. That's okay. Is he going to get a shot? Has he
just
got the
like-
11?
yeah, I think
if he's
the-
got the 11, he's
Yeah,
great.
the 5, 11, and the 2 all go.
So you pull the cue ball back out for the 15 right here in the middle of the table, Darren. I think that's okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I'll play for the ball at the top of the table.
Right, and then maybe play position from there.
Well,
down.
I like leaving the 13 for his key ball.
Right, that's what I was thinking. Get on
Yeah.
the 15, it opens up the 5-2, and then you knock away those 2, and then the 12 to the 9 to the 13 is pretty easy. So we'll see. He may run into him here. I don't think he's got to do that.
Yeah, I mean, Shane's one of them guys what likes kind of kissing into balls, where with me, I avoid it unless I
Yeah.
have to do.
Yeah, it's scary.
It sort of scares me, that sort of stuff.
He just goes forward here and gets the 12, and all the work's done down here. I wouldn't draw back here.
No, he can't draw back because he's awkward cueing. I mean, he's left
Yeah.
himself a tricky shot here. He's got to be careful not to foul also.
And we're playing all ball fouls, and we saw that last night. Nobody. Oh,
There
he
you go.
overcut it.
He's okay.
Overcut it. Okay. We saw that last night, Darren. Not to bring it up, but you're the only one in the building that knew you fouled that 5 ball
yeah.
last night.
That was big,
I've
yeah.
done the same thing, but I did it with the tip. I used to get so close to the cue ball with the tip, I
I've
just
done that as
feathered
well.
it. Yeah.
I cue very close to the cue ball also. But yeah, I was on a good run there as well. I was sort of getting into the zone, and then I'd make a crazy mistake. I just couldn't get comfortable with that particular shot, and then I sort of changed my mind, and then I just felt it touch my palm.
Yeah, just got down on the ball, maybe thinking about other things, maybe. So.
Yeah, I just tried to change my hand position where I should have brought it off the table and then reset, but I didn't. I tried to move it while I was down the shot, and
Right.
just obviously once you foul, you just.
You just go to full on the 5 right here, probably, huh? Since you fell on the 9, just go ahead and.
Yeah, he would have liked to. It's sort of like a little bit of a weird angle here, so he might punch us in.
Yeah, a little bit to get off the rail.
Got to make sure you bear down.
Oh, he went forward. I was really shocked there, but that's okay.
Yeah, he didn't like the angle. You see, he didn't want to get froze to the rail there.
If he got straight here, now he got a little funny angle again. He may have to do something else. Now the 5's a break shot as well, so if he wants to change his plans here because it's something he doesn't like,
Yeah, I think
that's
the 5's
okay.
a better break shot actually,
It is.
and the balls are laying nicely to play for the 5 also.
Yeah, just roll forward to real full on the 14, and then you'll notice he can almost stop his ball to shoot the 2 and just guide above the 5 for the break. So we'll see if he connects that pattern.
But he really should play the 15, the 14, and the 2 in the same pocket, and then come around the back of the 5. But we'll see.
Oh,
But it's not essential, but that's the
You don't think you just hold right there for the angle just to come straight up to the middle?
Where his cue is, yeah, just bring the cue ball back like to the centre of the table.
Okay.
And then you play the 2 in the same pocket, because then you're guaranteed the angle on the 5, and you can't really miss that shot on the 2.
Well, I was just saying if he got full on the 14, he could just really hold his ball on the 2 and just draw up to the center of the table just because he would be so close to it. That's all. Well, all right, don't put too much English. You don't want to come too tight. That's perfect.
Yeah, I love that shot, me, just because you can't really go wrong with it. And
well, it's a shot you got to practice playing straight pull too. You got to have that touch.
Yeah.
You know, I practiced it where I've gone. I'm so worried about going too far, I end up short, and I end up with almost no shot on the 5, and now 69 to -1. And if you're Corey, that's the real electric chair he's in because he needs points. Not only needs a win, he needs points.
Well, he's got to get an opportunity. But it's like Shane here, because he's not really a specialised straight pull player. He's like took him quite a while really to run these balls because he's like had to think a little bit more.
Right.
Where if this was someone like Torsten, who's not even really a fast player, but he sees the game very quickly.
Yourself.
Yeah, or like someone like Mika, they see the game a lot quicker because they play it all the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So someone like Shane, he just has to think that a little bit more
and really he has to think a little more, I think, honestly, because he breaks the balls, he re-breaks them open a little more often, so you'll get a few more troubles.
Yeah, he should play inside English and really draw it to the side rail.
He's drawing it to the in rail,
stroke.
I think.
Yeah, it's okay, but it's dangerous.
Well, the problem is, if you don't get one upstairs, you could get doubled up, meaning, and when I say doubled up, meaning having to shoot a combination.
Yeah. If someone spent maybe 15, 20 minutes with Shane and say, like, play this break shot this way, and then
and just get the run started.
I think it'd improve 25% just overnight.
Right. Now you cue down on this and go into the 6. You can go forward off the 3, but you might fall below the 4. So he's got to be careful because he's definitely going to contact the 3 with the cue ball. Okay, great shot. He put a little extra on it, making sure he didn't fall below the 4.
Yeah, he's sort of. He's in he's stroking the ball really nicely, so that's Corey's really hoping that Shane runs out of position. I think that's his only hope, really. Or he doesn't get on the break shot, or he gets a bad roll.
I might try and fall on that 2 right here, just because it'll open things up. Ooh.
Well, I like the shot he played there, but he hit it a bit too hard, I think.
Right.
He could have hit that quite a little softer and held for the 2 or the...
well, he was real tidy to get on the 2, and you'll notice that opens the 9 and 15 up. Very nice.
The 10 ball's a good break ball, right?
Yeah, the 10's good, and I'm not worried about the break so much. Just mainly, just pick a few off in the middle there if you can to open things up. I always think these, unless y'all start, you guys start getting a bunch of them down table, but when they're all right here, and there's 10, 9, 10, 11 on the table, even 6 or 7, I still think you guys are going to produce that break shot.
Yeah.
I think it's more about keeping the cue ball clear and continuing the run. Well,
it really needs to get one really good positional shot, because them cluster of 5 balls there are just making things a bit tangled up at the moment. But they all go, but he needs to play one good positional shot, and then it really opens the game up nicely.
Yeah. Use your touch. Try and get on the 2 here, and okay.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I don't understand that one either.
Wow.
I thought he would just coast in there trying to get on the 2, and if he didn't get there, he would have the 1.
But again, he's kissing into balls, Jeremy, when he don't need to.
I totally agree, Darren. So he's got to watch out here. Also, he's got to hit this one a little more speed just because he's going into him, and what's he going to shoot at for sure? Does the 14 go? That's tight. I don't know if he can get at the 8 either.
Yeah.
But he's got the 9 and the 15, so.
Yeah, and he's got the ball on the side also. I think the 15's a break ball, so that's... he's making it a little tougher than what he needs to.
Absolutely.
I won't even think about playing the 14. That's
no reason to take a chance at missing. He's got to be thinking about that 2 and 3 as well.
Well, now he needs to get good shape on the 9. That's essential in this rack.
Absolutely.
So he can bump the 2.
Absolutely. He's got to hit
even
this.
play for the 8 ball there. Be okay.
Right. He's got insurance if he hits it. Okay.
Yeah,
still.
I'm not understanding why he's kissing all these balls all the time, to be honest.
Yeah, and what Darren's saying is, in these games like 8 ball, instead of moving the cue ball into position, you play another ball to connect to position, meaning you shoot a shot to play position on a ball to get position on the one you're worried about.
Yeah.
So
it's a little bit like 8 ball, really. I don't like cannon into balls, kissing balls, unless I really need to.
Yeah, and really he's cut himself off to where if he shoots the 9 right here, if he shoots it, Well, he's going to use the 9 right here to break him. And then the 3's a pretty good break. It's not bad. So if he can make the 9 open the 2 and 3 up just a little bit, you don't want to hit it hard.
He's still got the 10 as a break shot also. But,
Oh, that worked out pretty well. He's got the 3 that is just really nice to break with from behind.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got the 3 or the 10 as his break shot.
Yeah.
Still still not quite in position yet. He's got an angle on this ball, so he might have to draw it off the bottom rail and come back up table. He's following.
Yeah, he'll just float it. He'll just float it.
Thought he had a bit
He
more.
may end up getting kind of close to either the rail or the 11-8. Oh, wow. Now he's really gambling.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
If this thing is off angle where he can't shoot the 10-11, he's got problems.
I think he's been very fortunate, to be honest. Because
Wow.
if that 10 ball and 11 wasn't a combo, he's sort of dead. He'll have had to play a combo on the a bank on the 2 ball. Sorry.
Wow.
So I don't understand what he's quite thinking here. This rack, especially.
Well, you better hit this one with a little speed, too, to get the 10 out of there. Not hard, but little speed, though. All right, nice shot. Nice shot. And now, if the 9 goes, he's okay. The 9 goes by the 3, that makes things pretty easy.
Yep. Well, he's got a few options here, really. He could play the 8, play the 10, come up for the 3, and then he could play the 3 and the 2 and use the 9 as a break ball, or he could do what you said, play the 8, 10, 9, 2, 3.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I might get above on the 2 because there's a lot of ways to shoot the 2 and then the 9 the opposite hole and fall behind the 3 as well. I'm not saying it's totally natural, but main thing is here he needs to get an angle on this 10, make things easy to get in position. Make sure you stay above it. It's going to be close.
I was still a bit surprised with that. I thought he could have just dropped that ball in and played the 10 in the opposite, which
Just
gives
like,
you natural shape, really.
and what Darren's talking about is just hit that 8 lightly and stay on the other side of the 10 ball.
I think he's doing all this on purpose just to wind us up.
Well, now he's going to go 9, 10, 2, which I don't think he'll have a problem, but have a little bit more cue ball movement, so it's going to require a little more touch falling on not only this 10 ball right here, but on the 2 ball later. Kind of took a second look at that one, Darren.
Yeah, but see how he played it, though? He played like a soft draw, so he just made the pocket a little bit bigger, where a lot of amateurs make the mistake there. They're trying to hit the ball too hard.
Well, that's because they have problem drawing the ball, so that's another issue, but he'll just come 1 rail right to getting real fat on that 2, and that angle looks perfect.
Yeah. And what the pros are so good at as well is that if he had like a big angle on this 2 ball, they'd be able to
Kill the ball.
So good at killing the ball and just stopping it when it's not natural.
Yeah, we talked about that all week, Danny and I, as far as stay above it. I know straight in is like the ideal one, but you're gambling to get behind the ball, and then that's the bad angle. But if you stay above it with just a little angle, you can kill the cue ball a lot of different ways.
Yeah. Well,
And it's not even recovering. It's really kind of what he's planning to do is kill the cue ball on the 2.
Yeah, he's sort of. I think he's sort of enjoying himself a little bit now. He's got like a little smiley. He's thinking, "Oh, sort of happy."
Well, he's got that unique face that we all know when he's not so happy with it.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've known him 10 years. He's like me, going a bit thin on the top. I keep telling him, I says, you need to get them clippers out, pal.
We won't talk about that. My wife, she won't let me bring the clippers out just yet. So.
You're okay for a few years.
Oh, you've lost your mind, but that's all right. That's why I'm so
That happens a lot there, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Usually you get a double kiss on the bottom rail and it kicks the cue ball into the pocket.
And the 12's covered him up on the 14 as well. So you're going to see an 8-ball, long distance 8-ball now. It offers position on the 12, but
the reason why he could double kiss that ball on the bottom rail is because he didn't play any right English on the cue ball.
Yeah, to spin out, right?
He plays centre cue ball, and it happens a lot. He should have played with a touch of left, and there's no way he's going to double kiss that ball.
Well, he's playing an off-angle combination, and he's on the rail instead of shooting this 8. Do you like that better, Darren? It's close to me.
I like if you can play this 13 onto the 6, I like that, yeah.
Do you like that better than the 8, really?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I guess it's just so much shorter of a shot is what Darren's saying.
Yeah.
Still wasn't easy, even though he made it look easy.
Good shot. But it was sort of
great
laying,
shot.
the 6 was laying okay, you know what I
Where
mean?
he could put a little stroke on it, right?
Yeah.
He didn't have to baby it any kind of way.
To be fair, it was a little bit fortunate. It's like to execute the shot. It was not an easy shot.
No.
But it was a bit fortunate to have that shot, let's say. And
Now he can go into the balls, but the thing is about going into them now, and I don't think you have to, is you're a little elevated, and you got other ways to break them. And really, if you go into them there, you're not so sure you're producing a break ball.
This is okay. I like
this
drawing
is
into
all
the 7 here. That'd be good. 7
Well,
out of 9.
Yeah, you watch
Control, though. Control
watch
this
the
one.
9 push out. Watch the 10 push out if he hits it right.
Don't hit it too hard.
That's okay. He's all right. He's got the 8. Really hard to get cut off on everything. He had a 14 in the corner as well.
The reason why not to hit it too hard there is that you know you have a good chance of getting a break ball, which has happened. He's got the 9 ball.
Right. And if you don't want to push him up above to where it's hard to reproduce the break ball. So
Yeah.
now, do you just roll this 15, the 8 in, and hold for the 5 on the side, or do you shoot the 14 here? I guess the 14.
Yeah, you just want to make sure you don't miss any balls.
He's shooting in the
8
side.
balls,
He's cutting it in the
I
side.
don't know about this.
Yeah, he's spinning this ball. Wow, I was a little surprised on that one.
Played it well, though.
No, he hit it great. And we've heard it our entire lives playing pool. Different strokes for different folks playing this game. You don't have to do it the same way, like, you know.
Well, the thing is, when you you're sitting watching or you're commentating, you see the game a lot clearer. Well, when you're out there, you don't see it as easy, unless you're really in the zone.
And you don't feel the pressure. I don't feel any pressure up here at all. So
yeah, exactly. When you're out there,
besides y'all's pressure, I feel your pressure for you. But I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'm hitting them good.
When you're out there, it's more like if you're not feeling good, you try and work your way around it to make sure you can't miss or lose position.
Yeah, and you second guess
Yeah,
too.
so you're sort of playing like the coward shot, really. Instead of playing the correct shot, you're sort of working your way around the table. But that's what we're talking about, the B game.
Right.
Where the guys who are very inconsistent, like the guys who are just all stroke players.
Right.
That's why their B game's not so good, because they rely on that killer shot all the time.
They rely on their strengths, is what Darren's saying. And Danny and I talked about it earlier in the week that, in both of our opinions, the guys that really win the tournaments not only use their brain, but they're willing to shoot what is absolutely the correct way to shoot it, even when they get in a tough situation. You know, like you know, you're on the end rail and you got to shoot a ball in, but really the correct way is to cue it with high inside and come 2 rails for another ball instead of cinching it. Yeah. And really, I think Jason Shaw is one way to display that with the way he played the U.S. Open this year. He went out and he wasn't waiting on somebody to give it to him. He grabbed a hold of it himself.
No, when your confidence is so high like his, I mean, you just think you're going to make everything anyway. So, but he'll have his spells where things are not going well, and he'll have his bad patches.
Sure.
And then it'll be then he'll learn more about himself and learn more about the game. Same with Joshua Filler, all them guys, all these young kids coming through. They'll have their spells, their bad moments. I'd probably say this year, I mean, Shane, the last 2 or 3 months, probably been struggling a little bit.
Absolutely.
I've never really seen it, really. Have a long period like he has, last 2 or 3 months, where he's sort of not been with it. But it happens to us all.
And the funny thing is, we can say struggling because he hasn't had the wins, but you know, as well as I do, that, you know, I've been playing very well at times, and you still don't win. Like, you know, it's just hard to win. There's only one guy out there winning. In pool, we don't have 52 tournaments a year like a lot of sports in our cases. So
yeah, it's like Mika. He had like 2 or 3 year bad spell there. Trying to come out of it, but it's hard when you're trying too hard. Like Ralph, he's had a good bad 3 years, but now he's started coming back.
Yeah, that's amazing too. What is Ralph? I'm not sure.
About 48 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ralph's just got that B game, and there's no real hay game. It's just B game all the way, and it's just solid.
Yeah, steady. He's really a guy that thinks through the rack.
But what I'm learning now with rotation is that you've got to be more aggressive.
Shooter, right? Yeah. You got to pocket the tough shots. That's what I was getting at. The guy that's willing to make the tough shots. There's a lot of guys that do well in tournaments, but as far as winning the big tournaments, it's really the one that's going to come with the big shots. So, I mean, and you can look at that all the way through the years. I'm talking about Siegel, Earl, Efren, Buddy Hall. Just they were willing to pocket the tough shot.
Yeah.
So,
what I think now is that there's more players, so they're all attacking.
Right.
Where before you'd have like a lot of percentage players, and the
game's evolved.
The game's just gone very aggressive, really. I mean, because there's so many good players around the world now, it's just getting tough. And aggressive seems to be paying off a lot more now.
And I think it's going to continue that way. The way the break is these days, there's not as much tactical in the game. Like I state all the time, like now with the template rack, how often do you see guys have to break balls out playing 9-ball or 10-ball?
Yeah.
Not very often. So
Yeah.
it's a lot about straight shooting and breaking the balls and really, like you talked about, having the right mentality to win.
Yeah. And what I'm very interested now, the last 3 racks, Shane's obviously been watching me because he's starting to use the same break shot. His key ball is coming around the back of the ball all the time now.
Right.
So he likes to watch. I mean, he's a good student of the game.
No, he's been here watching, quite honestly,
I mean, I can
more
learn,
than any of y'all when y'all were playing.
I can learn from him playing 10-ball, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. But I'm guessing he's definitely picking up some stuff.
He put that
by watching.
opposite English on it again that I thought he would put a little bit to get to the center of the table.
Yep, same again. He should have played with right English.
Yeah.
He's played with the wrong English.
Yeah.
So he's been
he
quite
didn't
fortunate.
pay attention to you quite as much as he should have.
Well, maybe because he was watching Joshua, he was doing the same thing, but he was getting away with it.
Yeah, you got to come around to the center. If he was watching his opponent, Corey, he's displayed that very well, and now a 100-ball run by Shane. But Corey on that corner ball down on the low, and he spun out to the center beautifully, and he opened the rack quite nicely.
He plays it very controlled.
That's what I mean. The speed was perfect. Never overhit it.
Because he knows where the ball's going to go, so he knows he's going to have 2 or 3 balls guaranteed. So then he uses one of them as to start picking the balls off.
I think it has a lot to do with his mentality in the game. Now, he way overran this because he wanted a lot of angle on the 2 to go into the rack.
Tell you what, though, this might be like the most unorthodox 100 break I've ever seen, but it's been great. It's like watching Joshua, really, a little bit.
Right.
But his shooting's so good.
Joshua, I couldn't figure out because he had a few racks to where it looked like, all right, he's all over the place. But then a number of racks, I mean, way more than a number of racks to where he looked like Nick Varner in his heyday. So,
strange.
Yeah. So he'll try and come out on the 12 here to break. Or the 8, either one. I kind of like the 12 a little more than the 8, but we'll see. He can come across on the 8 and be a little safer just coming across the top of the 15. But if he goes forward, he's going to have to get some stroke on it, Darren.
You need to be careful here. This could go wrong.
Yeah. I like the 12. I just kind of think it's going to escape more and use the 15 to open the rack a little more instead of the cue ball. Okay.
He played that good.
Yeah, I like that. Keeping control.
No, he played a punch shot, so he couldn't get stuck on anything. Well, if he'd played with follow there, he could have gone wrong.
Right.
So now he's
good.
Even though the balls are sort of tied up, they're not. Because once he moves the 7 and the 10 out of the way, then things open up nicely.
Right. Like what Darren's saying is he doesn't have to play for the angle on the 7 to go back into the rack. He could get very full on the 7 and shoot the 7, then the 5 goes in the side. The 11 will open up. Once he removed the 10 also, the 1 would open up. So
yeah, playing the 7, bump the 5, then play the 10. And I'm guessing the 1 ball goes in the corner.
Yeah. Just keep it delicate, is what Darren's saying. Just remove the 5.
But the 11 actually goes. If he gets on it right, the 11 does pass. So
right. But that's what I mean. Also, he could remove the 5 and get to the 11 pretty easy too, right?
Yeah. He can play a lot of control cannons here. We are having to move so much. You know what I mean?
Especially, if he moves a lot, he might take his 14 out of position.
He might be able to hit the 1 ball, which I'm not really a fan of it. Yeah, that's good. I like that because he can use that later.
Right.
Oh, the 11 goes now. That's great.
Yeah, just don't baby it. Go ahead and make these separate a little bit, meaning the 1 off the 3.
Yeah.
Okay, nice shot. And now he's in perfect line, really.
Yeah, and he's getting comfortable now, so his patterns have picked up as well. Especially the last 2 racks, he's starting to see the game better. Confidence is a lot higher.
And go ahead and get at this 1 ball, right? Shoot the 10 and get at the 1.
Mm-hmm.
You got a pretty easy pattern from there. You can see the 12 on the side, the 3. He's probably going to use the 5 to get on the 14 last.
Yeah,
so
the 5's good because it's sort of perfect off the rail.
Yeah, you can get above it and kill it all kinds of ways.
Yeah. And if you get straight, it's not too bad.
Not too bad. A little bit behind it could be a little bit of a problem, but you can even handle a little bit of that.
Yeah,
so.
long as I get throws on the rail, which for someone of his caliber, I mean, he'd have to be terrible to land on the rail with a cue ball.
Yeah, and this is the best play here. Just make sure you're freed up and close to your next shot, whichever one it may be.
Well, he purposely he left himself a little bit longer on the 1 ball, so he didn't have to use a bridge or the extension. So that's important for people to understand. Also, don't like a lot of people there get close to the 1 ball, and then you got to get the bridge out and stuff like that.
And things get funny. Just try and get in between the 12 and 3 with the cue ball. Oh, he let her rip. So now it worked out. I think it worked out where he can hold for the 3. Now here, as Danny always says, just don't miss. I put a little inside on that too, Darren. I'm not sure that was necessary, but makes the shot a little tougher, right?
Yeah.
It should be okay, even if he has to cut the 6 a little bit to get on the 5. That's okay. Now, Darren, tell us, he wants to be a little past that, right, where the cue ball's at now?
Yeah.
Just a little, and he could actually deal with that as well. That's the beautiful thing about being above this 5 ball.
He's looking at taking the 5. I don't know. Well, I think he really should have left an angle on the 6 ball and gone use the 2 rails or the 3 rails.
Yeah.
But, he's okay. Just got to. I think he's landed a bit straighter than what he would have liked.
So he doesn't. What Darren's saying is he doesn't want to draw into position.
Yeah, might sort of dolly it.
Right.
So this is not too bad, as long as he leaves an angle on the 6.
Did you say dolly it?
Yeah, dolly.
Okay. Is that a reference from a person or what is that, dolly it? I got to know about that one.
It's an English saying.
Well, I know, but what's it mean?
It
Like
he's
he
like
might miss it?
Yeah, it's like
okay.
deaccelerated sort of thing.
Oh,
like
okay,
just
I got you. Let up on it.
Babied it.
Okay,
There you go.
he's sweating it though. That tells you how interested he is. Did you see that little prance around the corner of the table, wondering if he's going to get the angle?
He knew he had the angle, and he's like, had a lot of look in the commentary box. Just get the approval.
A lot of 1s on the board right there, but not enough for Corey Deuel. 111 to -1.
Well, at least if he comes back to the table, he's got a chance to get the eye run.
Now let me ask you something. If it came back to where it was a tiebreaker, is negative against you on the points, or is it? It would have to be, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't think it would play into it, but you never know.
Yeah. But at least if he does come to the table, he can get the eye run. 1-5-1.
That's right. Okay, he's ripping it again. Watch out for the corners. Watch out for the corners. He didn't put no draw on it.
Yeah, he sort
draw
of slapped it.
He kind of hit a little high on the cue ball. Yeah, he didn't draw.
Draw with inside. Slapped it.
And Shane, I love it. I tell you what, is a great shooting there. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a timeout. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and we're gonna get a quick look at this replay on the break shot. He overhit it and didn't quite get the draw. You'll see the 2 bump on the 15 and the 13. Sends the cue ball right towards that pocket. Still great shooting overall, and he's on 1 foul now, and you can see the score. We've told you the situation, and we'll tell you again. Corey needs 96 to the good to qualify. That means he needs 97 from here. And he's got a lot of heat on him, huh, Darren?
Yeah, especially when he's been sitting down for like 45 minutes.
Well, the one good thing is he had an easy starter, obviously, with ball in hand behind the line, but still.
Yeah, if he can get through this rack, then he'll probably be okay back in stroke. So, yeah, just try and keep the game simple, really, and then try and work his way back slowly.
Yeah, and Corey, with a 3-1 record, but he hasn't run 100 yet. But
no, he's sort of grinded out wins.
But he's played solid though. In his first match, he won over Jason Shaw, but he had a 77 ball run, and then in his second match, in a defeat, he ran 65 when Joshua Filler ran 137 and out, meaning closing the game with 137. Then in his next win, he had another pretty good run of 75. And yesterday, in the last match last night between you and Corey, actually, he ran 50. So, I mean, it's not like he's dribbling.
Yeah, he's been solid.
Yeah, real solid.
He's played steady. Last night was probably his worst match, actually. But he, yeah, I mean, he's not going to make loads of mistakes. He's going to run. He's going to make some. But obviously, like you say, his eye runs, what, 80, 70? So, I mean, that's not going to work in this match. So, now is the time to come with a big one. Well,
yeah.
At least 96 anyway.
Well, yeah, and he can tell not only from the score that Shane looks like he's not. He didn't leave on a miss. He was left on a little bit of a mental mistake, and not so much a mental mistake, just didn't get the draw on the ball like he wanted on that break shot. So,
yeah, I mean, Corey, all you can ask for at this level is one opportunity, and this is his opportunity. If he doesn't take it, then he knows he's going to lose, unless something crazy happens.
And another thing is, all you can ask for is going into the last match with this cast of characters playing that he kind of controls his own destiny. He doesn't have to depend on anything else, meaning getting the 96 balls or the win, whichever comes first, which the 96 will come first, but he'd like to end it with a win.
Yep. Yeah, could put another 1,000 in his pocket as well. It's been a really good week for him. He won 4 matches in the 8-ball. He's got 3 matches in here, so he's 7,000 for the good right now.
Yeah, great, and
it's not bad for a week's work.
No, he's got a chance by far to come away financially with the biggest win.
Yep. Yeah, I think Jason's got 8. I think he's won 8,000 this week. No, 7,000 so far.
7,000, yeah.
With 1 match to go, and he's probably guaranteed the final. With his ball count, I think Jason's got a great ball count. So.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, Jeremy, what happens if Corey wins this match? How does Jason, Dennis, and Joshua? How does it stand with them 3 guys?
Well, we'll try and figure it out here. We have.
How many balls does Jason need?
Well, if Corey goes on to get 96, we know he's in it. Okay, so the score doesn't matter as far as the wins and losses. So then that'll put Darren. Excuse me, not Darren. Dennis has 215 in 2 losses. So, and Jason has Jason has 134 in 1 loss. So
Jason would need about 81 then.
Yeah, Jason would need either
82.
82 would secure it. Meaning, if Corey was to qualify here, and then in the later match, even if Dennis won, if he allowed Jason to get to 82, well, then it would be a repeat. It would be Corey and Jason again in the final here of the straight pool.
Yeah.
Now, one good thing for Dennis is if he gets that first shot, he can control his own destiny. Meaning, if he beats Corey, if he beats Jason handily, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah. And Joshua, he really needs Corey to win this match to have any chance.
Yeah, I forgot about Joshua.
Yeah, but Joshua, he really needs. If Corey wins this match, Joshua is more or less out. He's more or less out of it. Well, he's out of it. Sorry.
Yeah. Now, can he get at that one? He can. It's a little bit off angle, and it's a little further away from the pocket. It's not like a cold-blooded hanger by any means. So, does the 14 pass the 10? Because that's where he's naturally wanting to go with the cue ball here.
Yeah. He can put a big stroke in it, though, and play for the side.
Or the 15. If he gets a little bit of a cut on the 15, that's okay also. It's probably his break ball. Okay, hit a little heavy. So this is going to be an issue, possibly. Did he get a shot on the 10?
No.
If he didn't get a shot on the 10, he's in trouble, folks.
He's only got the 15.
He's in big trouble then. Not only getting one down, meaning continuing his run, but even looking towards the future of what's he playing shape on and what's he guaranteed for a break ball. The 10's there, but it's not great.
He's got 2 options. He either cuts it in. Well, he's playing the free. I mean, I don't like this.
I don't know if it's froze on the rail.
Yeah, it's
there.
froze.
Yeah, but I think that helps him a little bit from here. Yeah.
Wow, what a shot.
What a shot.
And he's made a break shot as well.
And watch it bump it again. Wow, great shot.
It's perfect on the 14. Make the 15 come around the back of the 10. But he deserved it because that was a great shot.
No, and I think his decision-making was great, too, knowing that at least if he could get the 3 down, he had some future in continuing the run. If he cuts the 15, the cue ball's going to have a lot of speed, and he's not really sure what he's going to use for a break ball.
Yeah, that tells you that when someone's playing really good, because that was a big pressure shot you had there.
Yeah.
That was a big pressure moment right there.
And it was a great shot nevertheless. I think the 3 being froze to the rail helped a little bit. We know the diamond, if you hit the ball pretty well, for some reason it hugs the side rail a little easier than other tables we play on. The pockets are tough, but still nevertheless great recovery. And that just stemmed from hitting the 1 a little heavy, wouldn't you say?
For sure. I mean, now get a good break shot, he's going to get comfortable again. You got to feel a bit sorry for Joshua Filler, though. He's won 3 out of 5 matches in the 8-ball, 3 out of 5 in the straight pool, and he's just looks like he's going to miss out in both finals just by ball counts.
Yeah. Well,
only ball counts cost him, really. But what a player. What a breath of fresh air to have in the tournament. I'm sure that Pat's delighted that he played in the tournament and Accu-Stats. And I think he's going to be, you're going to see him a lot more in America for sure.
Yeah, and I think it bodes well for the Euro team, him being over here right before the Mosconi Cup. Now, I'll tell you what, he's not out of it, though.
Yeah, he needs Corey to win. He needs Corey to win, and then he needs Dennis to beat Jason. by quite he needs Dennis to beat Jason by quite some score. He
Well,
needs a lot of stuff to happen.
There's other scenarios, though, I think.
No, because Corey's if Corey loses, he would then he'd be okay actually. If Corey loses and Dennis beats Jason.
No, opposite. If Corey loses and Jason beats Dennis, Dennis will have a 2-3 record.
But he's got a better ball count. It depends
Yeah,
on
it goes on the ball
it
count
depends.
then. Yeah,
Dennis
yeah.
will be okay because he's got bigger ball count.
Right.
So if Corey wins, then he would need Jason to lose by like more than 30. He needs Jason to not get to 29 points.
Right. There's
So-
scenarios, and we'll get at them. We'll see what develops here in this match, and that'll tell us a lot about our ladder match, and that'll tell us a lot about whether Joshua Filler has a chance or not. So,
Yeah.
but I think he's got a chance both ways, though, whether Corey loses or wins here.
Well, for sure. If Corey loses, he'll stay in front of Corey.
Is he playing the 2 here? 3-ball combination? Must be wired. Watch out for the rock. Ooh. Okay, moved a lot of balls, and I'm not so sure why he came back and tried to come back into the rack. Playing a shot like that, I think I would have tried to pull the cue ball out just for the 5, because you know some balls are coming loose, right?
Yeah.
No reason to try and get stuck on the side of the rack.
Yeah, it's a bit of a messy rack as well. But yeah, you're right. If Corey does happen to lose this match and Dennis beats Jason, then Joshua will be in.
Yeah. Well, no,
But
I
if
don't
Jason
think so.
beats Dennis, then it'd be Jason and Dennis in the final.
That's what I was thinking. If Corey didn't qualify here, it could easily be Dennis and Jason in the final, even if. Yeah. Now, what'll need to happen though is if Dennis puts it on Jason and beats him badly, well then that's how Josh could get in. Because right now Josh has more points on the loss than Jason with 162 to 134. So if Corey wasn't to qualify here, meaning if Corey loses here and Dennis beats Jason badly, we could see Joshua sneak right through.
Actually, no. If Corey loses this match and Jason beats Dennis, Joshua's in because Dennis would be 2-3 and Corey would be 3-2, but he's
not enough points. That's what I mean.
Ball
Yeah,
count,
yeah.
So,
but he has to beat Jason badly, though, right?
Yeah. No, but Joshua just needs Shane to beat Corey, and he needs Shane to beat Dennis because Dennis has only won 2 matches.
You mean Jason? Yeah.
If Jason beats Dennis and Corey loses, it'll be Joshua and Jason in the final.
Right. Ooh, squeaked that one in.
An unbiased point of view, it would be great to watch Jason and Joshua in the final. You don't have to worry about shot clock.
No, that's for sure. We all would have definitely enough time to get to the airport tomorrow, without a doubt. He's got some work still.
He sort of butchered that previous shot.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he just didn't have the entire pocket or not.
Yeah, maybe he had to spin it in a little bit.
Okay. Do you like the 9 right here? The 12, I mean, you can draw back. That's okay. But, I mean, and you're going to have the 9 or 3. I don't like going forward here. You'll notice the 7 is maybe going to block the 1.
That's
Okay.
clever.
Nice shot. Nice shot. Not only well thought out, but knowing he can't overhit it and let the 1 bounce up too much.
He's looking to see what angle it is if he comes into the stack. He's looking at the 6, actually. Oh, is he?
He's looking at it, but does it really develop the? I mean, it opens the 11 and some, but
Yeah, I
it's
think
not great.
Sort of like playing position for the 9, really.
I do too. Absolutely, I do. I know you're hitting balls downward away from a break shot, but I still think he's been very successful with the break shot underneath. So I like getting on the 7 to the 9.
And the 14's a really good break ball, really.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, he's been very successful with the ball below the rack. He's played it like a genius every time with the cue ball always getting to the center of the table. Is he going to cut the 1? Is he going to take a chance on cutting the 1? I don't like that.
Yeah, I missed one like that.
I'm surprised he ended up short on this on the 9. What we're talking about is to gain a little bit more angle on the 9 where you could shoot the 9 very easily in the side and go into the top of the 4.
Yeah, it just feels like he ain't quite got the speed down. A little bit tentative at the moment.
Yeah, well, he could have gone forward and made sure 2 rails he got the angle, but that would have put him a little further away from the 9. Maybe he was thinking he didn't want to shoot that. Now he may pinch it back just for the 9, just for that shot. Well, that's got to go a little bit. Now he's got just the 14. He's really kind of cutting himself off of things here.
Well, now he's putting all his eggs in one basket here because there's no insurance ball. So
Yeah.
he needs to get quite fortunate once he breaks his balls. So he's got to eat the right ball here.
And one funny thing is he can't cut the 1, can he?
Yeah, that's a tough shot. He can do it, but it's very missable.
Right. I don't think it's necessary either. I mean, even if you have to come up into these balls here, I know it's not great, but he should open. Should catch enough to open them.
Yeah.
Okie
Might
dokie.
just be okay.
He's cut off on everything. Oh, no, he has the 11.
He's just got the 11.
Does he?
I think so.
Okay. Well, I talked to Corey several times after, excuse me, after his matches, and I told him I thought he was playing great. And the one thing he had, now don't rub off this 13 and dive towards this hole here. Okay, nice shot. The one thing he said is, man, I keep playing and I have a pattern or I have a plan, and then I keep changing my mind. I keep questioning what I'm doing, I said, well, it looks pretty good what you're doing, but he feels a little uncertain at times.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that feeling.
Now he's still got a 1 ball he's got to get to. So you got to make that plan, and now he should get to it perfectly. Now he's really gotten through the rack. A little bit of a question mark here and there, but you'll notice he'll just fall down on the 1. And then the 9's real nice to get on the 6 ball break. So could have used a little more angle there, though. Yeah. Just a little.
Corey's one of them guys what's a bit of an overthinker anyway, I think.
Right.
And sometimes it does cost him.
Absolutely.
Overthinking, no good for anybody, but Corey, I think he's definitely one of them guys.
Well, I think there's that fine line that Corey has to where it's like, how can I make this easy on myself with my brain, where you got to realize also you have to execute. So you can't just do everything with your brain. You still have to be in the mode of, being willing to move the cue ball a little bit, or draw the cue ball a little bit, or follow it with inside. So
yeah.
And see the score here, 110 to 27.
Yeah, you see the difference in styles, really. I mean, between the two players. I mean, Corey keeps it simple. He's good at them little cannons and keeping the cue ball in short spaces. And picks the balls off really great.
Right.
Where someone like Shane and Joshua and even Jason, they like to power the balls, get them open, and just clear the table that way.
Right. Doesn't have them two don't have many worries now.
Yeah, Corey's more of an old style player.
And I didn't know what dolly meant earlier when you said dolly,
yeah,
but
baby.
but I do know what cannon means, and he means running into balls is what he means by cannon.
Yeah, Shannon the cannon.
Right. Now he's throwing a lot of right English on this, so he needs some draw with it.
Focus on making the ball the key.
Right.
See this ball missed sometimes.
He hit it light. Now the 15 hanging is going to help him. Well, he's got the 14 in the side as well.
Yeah, sometimes that type of break shot can go wrong the way he played it, but very rarely.
Yeah, but just it's one of them types. It goes wrong at the wrong time.
Yeah.
So, and don't get me wrong, he needs every break shot he can get here. He needs 96 to qualify.
Actually, to be fair, the 15 ball staying over the pocket's a massive help here.
Absolutely. Still, again, you don't want to get over the top of anything here if he's going into the balls lightly.
That's the problem there.
Yeah.
Is it too far? It's okay.
Yeah, he didn't go into the proper side of the balls that he was going into. Now, this 4-12 lineup, it's close.
Well, he's going to play the 10, I would think. He's going to play the 10 ball.
No, with the 7-2 doubled up, though, I escaped the cue ball for shape here. I don't worry about going into him.
Yeah. Well, that's why he ate that ball a bit fat, because he wanted the 2 ball stay somewhere near the pocket, which would have made life a lot easier. But he does have a combination. He sort of could overthink it and think, oh, where can I get stuck? But, I mean, really, I think...
It's hard to, but
it's
still...
hard to get stuck, really. You look at the balls, the way... As long as you don't dolly it, I mean, I put quite a bit of a stroke. But you don't have to. If this is a combination, then you don't need to do that. If it's 4-13's a combination, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and also I think he can...
And he can go into him now as well.
Yeah, and you see the 12, okay? Like, if he can pick a few off, he can re-break the rack easily with the 12 and not have many worries. You never know. The 4-13 is what he's looking at.
Yep. Yeah, if that's a combo, he's in good shape.
Yeah, he can just cut it, draw off the edge of the 9 to the center of the table, and really open the balls.
That tells me, I don't know if it. I'd probably say it's not like us.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, it's definitely not now. But to play that way.
And he's not gonna be fooled trying to keep that 8 ball as a break shot. He would rather clear the 8-2-7, I think.
Now the rack's become tricky. Just because he's going to run out of options very soon if you don't do something very quickly. So, like you say, you want to try and track your problem balls as quick as possible.
Well, he can go forward and take care of the 7, can he? And then the 2, and then he can get open on the 12. I mean, so I think he's okay.
Yep.
Corey's going to figure it out. Usually he just needs to roll forward an inch or two here or stun it forward an inch or two. That way he can come one rail just to the center of the table and shoot the 12 and open the balls. I think, anyways. Is that what you see, Darren?
Yeah. I mean, he needs. I think he's landed a little bit strange on the 7. It's not like dead straight. It's just running away, just a touch. So he might have to. As you can see, he's not too happy about it.
So you mean like the bottom rail?
Yeah. He might have to draw back around. Draw back a bit off the rail. No,
wow, he didn't hold very well at all there. I mean, he's going to have to throw this in. And now I just play position on the 14 to make sure I get on the 12 right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Since you got a little bit funny.
Yeah, the 12's the key ball. You know, if you don't get good on the 12, he's in big trouble.
Well, a lot of times.
Ooh, look at this.
Well, that's why I say a lot of times you'll sit there and you'll say to yourself, well, I can play two-way. But when it gets funny, you're better off connecting them. Okay, now he's okay, though. Just a matter if he doesn't mind shooting the 12 from a little more distance. Since I got there, I probably saved the 14 unless I can get just ideal on the 12 from the 14. Now that makes a difference. Okay, so what he's doing is he's saying I want to shoot with a little more angle and just a little bit closer on the.
Well, now he's not even going to draw this ball. He's going to play with follow.
Right. You'll notice the 11, 9, everything should open.
Yeah, the 3 should come to the bottom rail. It should kiss the 1. The 4 should come this way.
I don't
the
baby
13.
this one, though.
Yeah, don't baby it, but don't
blast it.
Just make sure you stay down on the shot. Yeah, make sure the ball. Nice shot. Ooh, we got a bit unlucky that he made that ball.
Okay, and he's got a little bit of a cut, though.
He's going to
the
make
one's
the 4.
not easy. I don't think the 4 goes.
4 in the side pocket.
Whew, tough shot.
Yeah. It's a bit unfortunate that he made that ball also. Made 2 balls in 1 shot there.
And
well,
I really thought
goes on the side. I mean, he's a pretty good side pocket player.
Great. I think he's improved too.
Yeah.
Like I saw him in the 8 ball make some really nice shots in the side pockets.
Yeah.
So, and he'll just hit this a little downward, just pulling the cue ball to the left of the 1, holding for the 3, probably in the side pocket, I'm guessing, or the 1 in the corner.
I think you just stun across. Just gotta make sure you make the ball. Yes.
Great shot. He didn't get really that great on anything though.
Yeah, I think the best 2 players I've seen in the side pocket is probably Jason and Chris Mellon. Especially Chris Mellon is unbelievable into the side pockets.
Well, all I can tell you is...
Well, you've probably seen a lot of guys also.
Well, the one guy comes to mind just for that. I mean, you always have to consider Efren. I mean, of course, Efren's unreal on all the pockets, but the sides, just something about it. But you didn't get to see Keith McCready in his... I didn't get to see him in his great form, but I saw some flashbacks and side pockets. It was unreal, the things he could do in the side pockets.
Wow.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, sort of quit on that one. Just jumped a little bit jumpy on that one. But it's first real pressure situation I think he felt, really.
Well...
Because he sort of made the rack harder than what it should have been, so he's got a tougher shot than what he should have had, so he just put a bit of pressure on himself there and just got away with it.
Well, Corey, he changed his style to where he has a much shorter stroke than he used to, meaning the backswing. But I still think at times when he has problems, it gets too short. Like he really doesn't pull it back and trust it as much,
Comes through a bit too quick and then just tenses up right at the end. Just grips the cue a bit too tight right on the follow through.
Right, and that, when you come through, that needs to go. That needs to really go, and that's not going to get it. But
and that's all stemmed from he overcut the 11, so he lost position a little bit.
Right.
And then just that's what happens. He was chasing the rack the whole way. Never got quite the position he wanted to, and sort of did the same thing as what I did really. And got straight in. So he might make the ball and then play safe, or he's going to call safe and draw back to the top rail.
Well, and also, I'm sure he was trying, but on that shot he shot just there, you got to use that second rail as a reference. You got to make sure you bounce off that second rail, or at least contact that second rail.
Even if he just lands on the rail, it's good.
It's still okay.
Well, he knows that also.
No, he was trying to. I'm pretty sure he's trying to.
We're telling him what he knows himself, saying, why don't I use the second rail? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and now
exactly.
He might try and get. I'm guessing he's playing safe.
Yeah, he's playing safe. And Danny, oh no!
Oh wow, well, this is just crazy.
Why would he? What was he trying to get?
He's trying to draw the cue ball
to
and come 2 rails and go into the stack that way.
Wow.
I mean, but this is Corey Deuel. You just never know what he's going to do.
Well,
I mean, sometimes, let's be honest, he's a bit goofy. And that was one of them goofy moments.
Well, you got to tell us. We know what goofy means in America. We need an English term.
Just like do something crazy when there's when he's like playing the game normal, and then just do something stupid for no reason.
Well, I'll tell you, when it comes to draw strokes, I think we've all seen a little bit of a highlight reel on a few of his shots, and he didn't do it practicing. I'm talking about in the events, the U.S. Open, World Championships.
When it comes off, it's amazing, but I mean that situation there, he could have scratched, and then I don't know. It's sort of like maybe he's thinking it's a shot to nothing. It's a two-way shot. He's no damage if he don't hit the stack.
Well, he's in trouble here. Corey is. If he can get this 4 away. Don't let it bounce too hard either. Just get it to the rail and use the stack to. Okay, pretty good.
Yeah, and he's put. You see how he kept the 4 ball off the bottom rail.
Right, and that's what I was
Corey's
talking about.
So Corey's no choice here. He's got to take 3 fouls.
Yeah, but for Corey, I think that bodes better for Corey than most because.
Oh, Shane, he's on the foul. No.
No, Shane just shot away.
No,
so
he shot away.
He just shot away on the 4.
Yeah, I don't know if Corey. Maybe.
No, Shane's not on a foul at all.
No, because he played the 4 save.
Yeah.
From the previous rack, he was on a foul.
Right.
He cancelled that out.
No, he canceled that one out. But also if you're looking at at Corey's corner, he's broke the balls really well, meaning he's really contained his opponent overall on the break. So
yeah. But he's going to lose 18 points. I mean, that's a bit of a blow, really, when you're so far behind.
No, I agree. But he's really just looking for another shot, another opportunity.
Oh, for sure. But it's like 1 step forward, 1 step back here, and it's frustrating when you're chasing the game and sort of. I mean, he was in good position there, you know what I mean? So he's going to be really frustrated because he could have been 42 balls and running this rack, and now he's like he's got to restart again, and he's got to break the balls. So he's no choice but to take unless he clips off the free and gets a cue ball on the side rail, let's say the first diamond, like the middle diamond. But I mean, he's got to get perfect speed to do that to avoid leaving him the cut. So
yeah, he's just not.
Yeah, he's got to take the 3 fouls.
I think he feels like he's gonna.
That's an intentional foul. Hold on.
Intentional foul.
Hit the cue ball the side of your tip. You have to hit the cue ball with the front of the tip.
Yeah, use the side of the ferrule.
So what are you trying to say? It's a foul?
I'm trying to say.
Kenny's gonna explain our options.
Sportsmanlike conduct foul.
I think it's Yeah, I know there's a strange rule. I think he might get punished more points, you know, and he might have to re-rack the balls also.
Because, all right, what we're getting at here.
I think there's a rule in where you might have to, I think, automatic loss of rack. Like, you lose all the points. You, like, minus the points, and I think he's going to break.
Well, that's gonna be a huge turn of events, and Shane may have not known this rule, but and I like the rule really because anytime you're involved in a lot of balls in the stack and intentional fouls, what they're saying is you have to hit the cue ball with the leather top part of the tip. There cannot be any ferrule hitting it or taking an intentional.
That situation there, obviously,
it makes it easier.
Yeah, I mean, you could be in a situation where you just want to barely touch the ball, and just using the side of the cue makes it easier because you're just pushing the ball into it.
And you could do it one-handed. You can come over the top of the rack or whatever. So this is
I guess Ken's looking at his rule book.
Yeah, well, it doesn't come up very often, and really though we've seen, and if after this we have seen it all this week probably as far as the straight ball.
Yeah. I mean, Dennis broke his cue. I conceded last night. I had a brain fight there. Obviously, this situation here, and I mean, but that's pool. I mean, there's a lot of emotion, drama, frustration, and
and you guys are going, 50 weeks a year.
Yeah.
You can get tired. You can lose your cool. That's just part of competing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, you see it in all sports. I mean, you see golfers conceding putts what they're not supposed to. I
Right.
mean, throwing their clubs, smashing tennis rackets. I mean, we're all human. And I think, personally, I think it's good for the game. I mean, it shows that we care, that there's a lot of drama. And where if we were all just robots, and the game's very boring.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
I like to see the characters show. I like to see the emotion from the players.
Yeah.
I like to see my opponent in pain in the chair, like myself sometimes.
Yeah, and the thing is, we're not going to see it all the time. You know what I mean? We're not going to see, like, the frustration's there all the time, but you're not going to see it exhibited all the
As long as you're not
time. But
unsporting towards your opponent or
Right,
shacking your
right.
opponent, then
Right.
I think it's great.
Guys, I'm gonna use the restroom. Is that all right?
ladies and gentlemen, we'll get back to that conversation. We're on a player timeout. We'll be right back. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back after a short break, and we had to reference some rules to just make sure everything gets straight here the way we want it. Kenny Schumann is going to deliver his decision here, and Corey looks like he's taking whichever decision Kenny decides. Pretty light of heart, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's in the rule book it's like 3 options really, but it doesn't tell you what the real penalty. Well, I mean that you can get disqualified, you can get a warning, or Ken can punish him how he sees fit. So that could be like a 15-point penalty and re-break.
And
I think with the situation we had the balls were, I think that would have been a bit harsh. I think he's made the right decision. Just give him a warning.
Just giving him a warning, and it hasn't come up yet, so that makes a big difference on his decision, meaning it's a little easier to give a warning. And what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is in professional pool, you can't just tap the ball with any part of your cue stick. You have to make a forward motion. The reason being is when you get on top of the stack, when you get next to balls, if you can just tap the ball from the top with your cue stick, well, that's an easier way to escape, even if you're just playing an intentional foul. So the rules stated there, so you can get in situations to where it makes it a little more tough to do what you want to do by having to address the ball correctly. So,
well, I think the problem with pool over the years is that players have been a bit lazy, and they've been allowed to do it because it happens a lot in one pocket. Like, we take a lot of intentional fouls at one pocket, and when there's not a referee, you just tap the ball.
right.
So it's just picking up bad habits, and the game not having enough referees really. So we haven't got the habit of playing the correct way.
Now Shane's still on 2 fouls. Now this one he didn't hit near as well as he had been hitting, and that's going to give him a shot.
Illegal break. He got very fortunate that he's going to take the shot anyway, so it don't matter. So another 2 points lost for Corey because he didn't drive 2 balls to the rail.
Right, you drive the 2 balls and the cue ball.
Unfortunately for Corey, is that he's brought the 6 out as well. So if he makes the 15, he's going to have natural shape on the 6. So Corey's in a bad way now. He's lost a lot of points. He's dropped from 41 points to 22. Shane's back at the table.
Yeah, he's just going to level out here. You don't want to go into the 5 here. You want to come around the table to the center to try and produce a shot on the 6. So main thing here is don't underhit it and get yourself behind the rack. And, of course, making the ball.
Yeah, very missable, especially when you haven't played for a while.
Well, I talked about it last night. That needs to go just a little. Other than that, I think it's going to be perfect to get at the 2 and break the balls. I talked about it last night in your match, Darren, that out of all the players this week, you kind of seen it all, meaning you had a few mistakes, quite honestly, and then you had some bad luck. Then you had a guy run 150 on you. So, I mean, it's like you had the full gamut, and now we've had the full gamut with that little situation coming up. Yeah,
there's been a lot of drama this week. Like we said, I think it's good for the game. Some characters. If everybody was the same, the game would be quite boring.
Right.
And so it's good to see all the different characters, different emotions, and shows that we're all human. I mean, obviously, I conceded last night, but that was a big mental error. Actually, I thought Corey needed 3 balls, but he actually needed
12. Yeah.
Another rack actually. So obviously,
wow.
It was
okay. Is he going to get anything? This 313 needs to be shootable.
It's makeable. He got quite fortunate.
Now, do you go ahead and shoot that just because the balls don't look that great, or do you go ahead and take a chance at cutting the 5 here, Darren? I mean, he can shoot the combination, but where is he going to from there?
I think you can play the combination, right? because he needs to make it, and he can follow through for the 4, for the 5 in the opposite corner.
Yeah, I see that.
And he might have a shot on the 3 or the 7.
Now, is that making the friction between the 3 and 13 a little missable if he hits it light and going through the ball?
He might actually be able to punch it and just graze the 9 ball or something.
And maybe that as well. It'd have been a lot for Shane if the 7 would have gotten up over the side pocket. That would have helped things a lot. But now with the 7 getting pinned on that side rail, you can see the 5s on the back rail. So
He's definitely got to shoot it, for sure.
And
it looks like he's going to play controlled.
okay, that needs to go, and that's perfect.
If he's played that, that's a great shot.
Well, and really opening the 7 on the side rail, putting the 3 over the pocket, that'll help just in case if he can get the cue ball away. Yeah,
he needs to hit it very hard.
I think he's good. I don't think he can catch anything flush enough to stick. I really don't, just the way they're sitting. Wow.
That was a problem. He hit it just about hard enough, and he probably got the worst result possible.
He got the 10 off the 3 in the side, cold-blooded hanger overall.
Okay.
And it looks from no shot to, like, easy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to get another look. You think the pool isn't amazing. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Over the balls. So, and that wasn't a jump shot or anything. That's just from putting a lot of power into the shot, creating a big collision.
Missed it.
Wow, he missed. He got inside the side pocket and it got inside the 3 and the point, and the side pocket getting at that point.
But when you're so close to the object ball like that, it's never easy to judge it, because you're frightened of double hitting the cue ball also, and the line of sight's not the same.
Yeah, but do you think he could have just held there? He was trying to get position on that 4, it looked like, and I thought he could have just held to kind of cinch the 10 a little more, maybe.
I mean, Corey's got to be absolutely delighted to get back to the table here.
Yeah.
I mean, now he's clear-minded and he's thinking, because he was looking ominous there for Corey.
And he's got some work, though. He's got some balls pinned on the side rail, so he'll want to get that 14 away as quick as possible.
Yeah, I mean, this tournament was quite some characters, obviously, with myself. I like to show a lot of motion. You got Jason, he likes to do the same. He's a bit temperamental at times. Joshua Filler's got a lot of character. Corey's his own character in his own way. And Dennis, I mean, he broke his cue. I've never seen him do that before ever. So just shows.
A little under the weather this week, Dennis. And,
and then obviously you're struggling as well, and then it's pulls mentally tough. I mean, it's brutal.
And watch this. It didn't look like he could hardly get inside. He was trying to definitely use the 3 ball, just barely going by the 3.
Yeah. He probably looked at that thinking, well, it's virtually impossible to miss it without hitting the 3.
And that's what you thought about that combination last night, right? Hey, the 14, I can't get to the point. I'm either going to make it off the 14 or I'm going to make it clean. Well,
you always find that gap, what you don't think is there.
That's right. And when you talk about personality, I'll tell you one thing. I see a lot of people these days, and when I say people, instructors, that try and teach the players to play like a robot. And I think that's a mistake. I like seeing the personality, not only, as a person, but I like seeing it in the stroke as well. Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, it's, and not just it's more entertaining. I think the guys play better. It's a unique game in a certain way to where not only can you play it a little differently, but you don't have to be just like a robot, a lever when you swing the cue. You can have a little personality involved in it, and I think it's important, especially when the heat gets on. When the heat gets on and you try to play like that robotic swing, I don't think you can call on things under pressure as easily.
Well, I think the biggest ability you can have is that after making mistakes, is coming back to the table and forgetting about your mistakes.
Right.
Where, like you said, it's nice to show some character, some emotion, where obviously there's, you see a lot with the Chinese and the Taiwanese, are sort of emotionless, and they all look the same to me.
Right.
I mean, they're unbelievable players, but there's no character or emotion there, really. There's one or two what show some character, but they're all taught by the same coaches and the same academies, so they're just drilled.
Right, drilled in their mind where that emotion is probably weakness.
Yeah, just emotionless, where I prefer to watch somebody with some character, some emotion, and just because you don't know what's going to happen, you're thinking, oh, maybe he's going to do something today.
And I'm honestly, as I've gone on in this game now, going on 30 years, as far as the greatest players in the world, I'm a little more worried about the guy that I can see the emotion from. I know that, don't get me wrong, Taiwanese, you're always worried if you play one of those guys, but I don't know. It's just something about it, you know. It seems like to me, again, the robotic kind of players are just not only that much fun not that much fun to play, but or watch. I don't know. I don't think it's an intimidation thing. It's just a feeling I get.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because you got the Filipinos who are very big characters in the game. They like showing their emotions, and it's just and the Japanese are like that also, like very fun.
Well, and if you're having fun, you're usually playing pretty well. You're usually comfortable if you're having fun, and that's I guess what I'm getting at.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think there's a lot of characters in the game, but a lot of people are there frightened to express their character.
Yeah,
they're frightened to.
We caught that one a little heavy.
They're frightened to show emotion sometimes.
Good thing that 2's on the bottom rail.
Because there's some organisers what like to discipline players and stuff like that, and I mean, there's certain situations where it's justified.
Mm-hmm.
But I think sometimes I think it's. I mean, you see it in golf and tennis all the time, don't you? I mean, pulls are mentally, I think, the toughest sport in the world.
Well, you had talked about Earl earlier, and you know, people originally mainly because of his play. I mean, you know, he was the greatest player in the world for some time, or considered one of the top players in the world for some time. But back then, he would win and show emotion, and really was a pleasure to play. Be honest with you, like when I played Earl back in the day, I never had to worry about a rack. I never had to worry about him sharking me. Now I had to worry about how he played, which was one thing. But when he was at the table, I couldn't get distracted. Meaning when it was his turn and I was watching, you know, a little bit of a song and dance, sometimes you might call it, or you know, his thing is what I'm saying, without being derogatory at all. Earl's a good friend of mine, but yeah, I mean that's what's going to draw crowds. People want to see incredible play, but they want to see something they can remember besides just a run.
Yeah, I mean, I'll always remember the situation with you and Earl at the bonus ball.
Oh yeah. Well, I've been trying to forget it, but unfortunately, everybody I ever meet, they tell me, well, it was nice to meet you, but I did watch one little video between you and Earl in the bonus ball, and that was like I said, Earl and I were good friends, and that got squashed pretty quickly. And like I tell everybody, and I'll get it out there, and I'll say it once, and I'll be done with it. But if it was a regular singles tournament, Darren, I would have just let him implode. But it was a team aspect, and when it comes to team aspect, I'm pretty proudful as far as I'm going to protect my players. I think, I think you were in Malta during that Mosconi Cup where.
I wasn't there. No.
Oh, you didn't play in Malta. Okay.
I heard about it.
Oh, yeah. That was a funny situation.
You and Mika.
Yeah.
Well, it's good because you're like an emotional guy. You stick up for yourself, and you stick up for what you believe in, and Mika's the same.
Yeah.
And, I mean, at the end of the day, when we're not playing pool, we all get on really well, really.
Yeah, it's over.
It's like Earl. I played Earl on the 4-pocket table, and it was brutal, really.
Did he get a shot, by the way?
But after the match, Earl never takes anything. The next time he sees you, it's like it never happened. So
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Did he get a shot, by the way, here?
Yeah, I think he's got the 11.
Oof.
Oh, does he?
I don't know.
He can see the 11.
He's playing a combination.
Oh.
Watch this. Double kiss off the bottom of the 3. Off. See? Double kiss through the balls, and now he's lost the cue ball. And now maybe Corey's thinking it might not be my day.
But he could have played a straight combination there, right? I'd love to see
he could have cut it off.
I thought he could play the ball into the ball, not like in between two balls. I mean, that was
he was trying to play a
really.
double carom, and it looks like we have another timeout. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back off another player timeout. We're going to try and get a look. I think we're going to get a look at. Can we get a look at that double kiss shot he was trying to play? Meaning Corey, he was trying to let the 14 hit either the 3, either one first, and then carry him off the other one. That being the 15-3, and then go towards the pocket. It's a doable shot. I thought he could have just played the 14-3.
I mean, that's just unbelievable. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, that's just.
So you think the shot clock?
If it comes off, he's going to
remember.
He might be remembered for that shot forever if he makes it. But I mean, he had a 14-3 combo there.
Right.
I mean,
and really no worries here besides trying to really make a
basically-
clear-cut decision on probably the 14 as a break ball, huh?
Yeah, I mean, Corey basically tried to play a trick shot, basically.
And we'll get the graphics up for you here. That there they are. Shane needing,
Yeah, 37.
37 or 36. Excuse us.
For like 2.5 racks. Well, probably these and 2 racks, really.
Watch out now. Okay, he's good, and he's going to play the 14. You'll notice he'll fall on the 10 to open the 5-7.
Yeah, got a good break ball here as well, so he's pretty. Have a good break shot, and then he'll need 2 racks off of this.
And he's got a nice key ball. We call the key ball the ball to get on the break shot, and that being the 9 right here. So really no problems. The 9's like perfectly off the rail to where you can get above it a little bit and kill your ball with no problems.
Yeah.
He can wait on the 11 last to pull to the center of the table if he wants. He can play on the either one really, the 5 last too. So
Yeah, a lot of options here.
yeah, just main thing, stay off the rail. Don't get too thin on anything, right, Darren? Just kind of a little bit of an angle is what you want on most of these.
When he gets this rack, he'll be on 121. So that means he'll need the next rack to get to 135, and then 1 full rack of 15. So he will have to re-break, but not play for a break shot, really.
Okay, don't let up on it here. You need to get some pinch on the cue ball, some draw. That way you stay above the 9. Great control there, Darren. And now I really look to make sure I get, and when I'm really good on the ball before the 14, I like to get exactly where I want.
Yeah.
And that'll do.
Well, there's one thing for sure, you won't see him scratch on this shot.
No, I don't think he could try to scratch unless it was in one of the upper corners, but he'll hit this with a high ball. This is the exact angle you want to hit it with a high. If you look at the tangent line, that means the line of the cue ball coming off the 14. If he makes the 14, it'll go real squarely into the rack. So that's when it's just really hard to scratch, is what Darren is saying. He could draw off it as well, but this is perfect for it to hit the follow, right? Don't let up on it. Okay, look at that explosion.
That was a good break.
Yeah, and he's got a break shot on the 2 that he can, from what I see, he can work towards.
Yeah, and he's got the 6 also.
And the 4 is a break. I like the 2 a little better because it's a little lower.
Yeah, and the 6 is very good.
Right. That's one we saw Corey and yourself play more of, is the one on the bottom. I think the other players, Jason now, I saw his straight pull game evolve through the week, right?
Oh, yeah. The guy who I see use that break shot the most is Alex Pagalayan.
Right.
He loves the bottom rail.
Well, I'll tell you, a lot of times if the bottom one's available almost every rack, meaning if you get really used to it and you like it and you know the different ways to hit it, it's the one that you can develop probably as easy as any of them, huh?
I mean, it's again like it all comes down to the conditions of the table also. Some tables break easier than others.
I don't worry about killing my ball on the 8 with the 11 hanging over the side right here. I know that. I think I mean, they're so open.
Yeah, if he's missing the 6, that's okay. But
Yeah.
I won't be kissing anything.
Well, and Shane's a tall man, so the stretch isn't so tough for him. I'll tell you another thing Shane's done over the last 10, 12 years. He's kept himself in great shape, which makes a difference and has played into so many wins for him.
Oh, yeah. And recently he got himself into a relationship, so it seems like his love life's in good shape also.
That certainly
with,
makes a difference.
Jennifer, his new girlfriend Jennifer. They've been together a few months now, I believe, and seem very happy. Spend a lot of time together.
Yeah.
I think Shane's on about moving to California to be with her, so that's good. So you might see a few little Van Bonings around in a few years.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
We all could be in trouble in about. Well, hopefully I'll be retired by then.
Yeah, I think you're okay on that
I'll
one.
be like Pat. I'll be organising.
Yeah, you'll probably still be playing here and there, but overall, okay.
Yeah, I have a few Shaws and a few Van Bonings.
Yeah, right.
In the next
already got
generation.
one Shaw.
Yeah.
Okay, still not 100% which way he's going with all this, but I think he is going to try and develop on the 2 ball. So you'll see that, and I don't know, he may leave the 6. He may leave the 6. Don't overthink it, Shane. Just do what you do.
Yeah, I think now the 6 is... Well, this rather the 4 or the 6. If he takes a 7, then he's got to leave the 6, really.
Right. What about the 2 with all those balls over there
Yeah,
to
that's
play,
not
get
bad
behind?
also.
Yeah, watch out with this one. That one
Yeah,
bounced a little bit now.
Like, he's got free break ball, so he can start overthinking and then sort of, like, not stick to your...
Right, exactly. That's
Try and
what
stick
I'm
to your
saying.
original plan and
Yeah.
just commit to it.
Yeah. Take care of a group, meaning don't go from one group to the other, to back and forth. Take care of a group and be done with it, whether that be getting on the 6 and 10, and then you got pretty easy work.
Yeah, well, you see at the moment, he's just playing into areas. He's not really committed to anything right now. So he's sort of like... that's why the hesitation's coming now. He's sort of... he's overthinking.
I don't mind the 2 ball at all. I really don't. With the 11 being there.
Yeah, especially where the balls are breaking. I'd definitely leave that 11 ball over the side pocket for the 2.
Yeah. Okay, I think he did real well getting these 2. That way he can play to the angle he needs on the 11 from the 6 or the 10. So he'll get the 5 and the 3 and then fall on the 4 to get on the 6 and 10. And I think that's pretty sound decision making from where he was at.
Yeah, it took him a while to see it, but now he's probably thinking, why didn't I see that 2 or 3 minutes ago?
Right.
That's just a lack of playing straight pull, that is.
Did he get? It don't matter if he plays the 4 before the 11, right? So if he drops down here, if he doesn't like the angle, get into the 4 right now. Okay.
Yeah, it does go. I think it's deceiving on that angle.
Yeah, and you can see a little error between the point and the 11, and that's all that he needs. So
Yeah, it's sort of barely over the pocket, so it's just off. I think he's okay.
yeah, and
Otherwise, he would have done
He may
something.
draw back for the 4 here if he's a little funny, because it doesn't matter. I mean, overall. And I'm right down the barrel on the 11. I can see it's a pretty easy shot.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. If he wanted to draw underneath the 2 a little bit, he needs to be a little aware of where he wants to get to do that from that angle. But he doesn't have to. He can just pretty much play the cue ball from where the 11's at to shoot the 2.
Yeah. Even if he gets on the side rail on this shot, he's okay.
Right.
Then he can take it in the top, but he's not going to do that.
Nah, it goes in the side easy.
Yeah.
There's no reason to take it in the top. Just make sure you're going to cue the ball how you like, meaning you're not going to have a funny bridge shooting the 2.
Yeah, it looks like I can draw this in as well. Wow.
Yeah, and he pulled the cue ball away enough there.
Yeah.
And now at 135, you'll see he won't need a break shot. And the next one, he'll just have to get all 15, running the 14, leaving the 15th, and the balls will be re-racked, but he won't need to break them.
Well, the key is that you see this happen a lot. A lot of people make the mistake thinking they need a break shot. So they start playing for that break shot and they start mixing their head up. But the key is to just leave one ball on the table and make it sure that you're guaranteed to make it.
All right. Watch out. He's going to need some help. What's this 8 doing?
Yeah, he's got help. He's got 14 ball.
Okay.
And it's perfect as well because he's going to go into the stack. So
yeah, and he's got the 8 there. So just don't baby this going into the stack. That way you don't go through the balls and they stay together. You get the back of the 11. Oof. Ooh. Squeaky clean.
So now he's going to start thinking, do I need a break shot? Which he does. Ken will have to re-rack the balls with one ball on the table.
Right, but it won't have to be on an angle for a break, that's for sure.
But I've seen players make the mistake thinking that they need to break the balls or just because they're thinking, all right, I need one more after the break, where they don't.
Right.
So he has something to do, though. He has to negotiate this 5 and the 13. So they need to be broke.
Yeah, but don't press on it. You know what I mean? Like, don't try to manufacture something that's not there. He's going to get at it. I mean, I got to believe he's going to get at it.
Well, the 11 ball would be a great ball to come underneath him and kiss the 5 out that way. But
Yeah.
we'll see if he does that. All the 7's good also. Maybe brush them.
Yeah, he could set up the 1-8 combination is so easy. He could have played the 1 into the 8 and come into him as well and left the 1 over the pocket. So
Yeah, I'm not.
I would have fell behind it, though, where I'm naturally going into it. But
Yeah, because now he's looking to draw the ball a little bit.
Well,
It's a bit tougher.
that's okay because you put the 1 on the bottom rail and just hold for the 11. That's the key. When you have that's okay because you want a ball down there when you go into that 5-13,
Yeah,
right?
no, it's good, yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty good thinking. He didn't get the angle he wanted, but still don't panic. You can get on the 1 to break those balls as well. You don't have to produce a break shot that opens the rack. You just got to get all these. So, again, just take your time. I think it's still okay to move this. He may have to draw back. Oh, don't bump and go forward now.
Wants to bump that 12, I think.
Yeah,
Wow.
but Now, I don't that one, I don't know about that one exactly.
Yeah, that was dangerous.
Yeah, well, he was trying to get on the angle to go into the edge of the 5 coming upward, which is, I understand, but you could get pinned still. I know it's unlikely. Careful here now. Okay, I like that. I like that. Now he should be able to go into the edge of the 13 with no problems, right?
Well, I think he's just got too much angle on that 12, I'm guessing. But
Really? Okay, so he's going to shoot the 6 and hold for the 12, but he is going to have to produce a shot on the 5 or 13 to have something easy.
there you go. The good thing here is that when he comes underneath it, off the top rail, you kiss the 5, but hit it hard enough so that you're guaranteed a shot on
I
something
think
else.
he's going straight into it,
Oh,
though,
wow.
Darren. So that's a little more dangerous. Takes more touch.
He's okay.
Okay, he's good. He got a little thin on both, but that's all right.
It's good because he knew he had the 10 also.
Right. So now you could play position on the 3 last. You're not as concerned, but he still may try to get to it early. I would love to if I could. He's okay, though, really. Just stop right there for the 9, then drop down for the 5-13. Don't do anything extra.
He's got to be cautious as well when he does get to the last ball, not to just get down and make it, because it'd be a foul.
Right. Oh, well, I think Kenny will walk in, and that'll
Yeah,
make
yeah.
a difference.
Yeah,
And
but
Kenny will...
I
yeah.
had a situation with that in the American Straight Pool Championships. Mike DeShane was playing Carl Boys. Carl Boys needed 1 ball. That's after the break. So Carl, Mike sort of like, you could see that he sort of gave up. He was going to give him the game. But then Carl just made the ball. And then Mike says, oh, you didn't re-rack the balls. I mean, he sort of
Right.
tried to move sort of thing.
Right.
But he's could have called it. I mean, I think he was trying to call it, and then the referee come over and said, "Well, that's a bit common sense, really."
And really, it
But
looks
like you
like...
said, because we have a referee here,
Yeah.
Ken will step in and anyway.
It looks like Shane is going to make things very difficult, or maybe even impossible, for Corey to move on. He'll chip this 9 in the side, falling on the 3. And then as long as he doesn't get straight on the 3, he'll have an easy angle to get to the 4. So,
Yeah, there's 2 happy guys right now, and that's Shane and Joshua Fuller, because that keeps him in the tournament.
well, that and really it kind of helps all the guys. I mean, you if you're Dennis and Jason, you want 2 spots available. So now just a pink away from winning this match. And Dennis, Darren, it was a real treat having you again this week.
Yeah, I
and,
really appreciate it.
and again, congratulations on the Hall of Fame and everything
Cheers,
else.
mate. We'll see you out there. It's your round.
Yeah, we'll see you there for sure.
Your round, pal.
Well, great shooting by Shane Van Boening.
Yeah, played really good.
And I'm not sure if it totally eliminates Corey, but it puts him in a pickle with the points. So thanks again, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back at 7 o'clock for Dennis Oculio and Jason Shaw to determine our 9:30 final. Yeah. Straight here from Sandcastle Billiards in Edison, New Jersey. I'm Jeremy Jones with Accu-Stat Video Productions. Stay tuned, and we'll see you soon.
The future of billiards training is here. Introducing the DigiCue, a small electronic coach that fits inside of a custom rubber housing and attaches to the butt end of any pool, snooker, or carom cue. Simply slide the DigiCue onto the butt end of your cue, push the power button, and then play the game of your choice. The DigiCue constantly monitors your stroke for inconsistencies and gives you immediate feedback by silently vibrating when it detects jab strokes, steering, body English or movement, standing up during your stroke. The DigiCue will force you to bear down on every shot. It will condition you to keep your head and body still during your follow-through, leading to a lasting improvement in the consistency of your stroke. The DigiCue comes in 3 different modes: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Get serious about your game. This is cue training evolved. Can you beat the DigiCue?
Introducing Lucasi Hybrid, a whole new level of performance and technology. A cue with the revolutionary X-Shocks dampening system, eliminating vibration. G5 grip technology for enhanced traction and stability results in maximum cue control. Total sweet spot construction means unmatched power. And the Zero Flex Point ferrule provides dead-on accuracy, giving you the confidence you need in every shot. Lucasi Hybrid, the only cue that matters.